Hello and welcome to the thing not doing the thing I want it to do. So we can get rid of that. Yeah, I got this for Christmas, as I mentioned in the Christmas AMX40 video that I did, and I have tinkered with it a little just in the online thing to, you know, set up a character, get familiar with the controls, and also fiddle with graphical settings as well. It took me about an hour to actually figure out what I needed in order to get it to play nice with OBS and be able to stream consistently over 30. But I got there in the end, and so I thought, you know, if I'm going to play it, I might as well stream it. And I know roughly how the first hour or so of 2 goes, because I watched Circon when it came out on console. But I decided after watching that first hour that I really wanted to experience the rest of it for myself. So beyond that first hour, I really don't know much about how this game goes. So yeah, let's start a new game and see how it is. And I will need people to, you know, say if the sound levels are all right as well. I've turned it down fairly low, so it should be low enough but not too low, I'm hoping. I've put on subtitles and all the rest, so it should be pretty much how I want it. But, you know, if it's too low, then yeah. Yeah, I discovered it has issues with OBS, Frankie Lobster. I'm having to... There was a fair bit of experimentation on Googling to get the client to play nice, so I'm actually having to do display capture, which is not great. It means that if I accidentally, I don't know, do something I don't mean to do, like hit my Windows key, that's going to pop up on screen, for example. But yeah, it just would not do window capture. It just wouldn't. Whatever combination of settings I used. So yeah, bit of a pain, but yeah, it works. It's just, it's going to be annoying if I accidentally hit the wrong key. So it's 1898. It's kind of a prequel, I think, to Red Dead, first one, which I've never really played, to be honest. I think I've played a very little of it, but not a huge amount. Not enough to know the story of the original Red Dead, anyway. I tried once they'd announced this, once it was released, I thought to myself, you know what? It's probably available on the PlayStation Store. So I went and bought it for like a $5 or something, and that was the point where I learned that my PS3 was on its last legs. Because I'd get through the intro sequence and then it would just continually keep shutting down on me. So that was a bit annoying. If I ever get another PlayStation of any variety, of course, it'll be there still for me to play, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
We'll have to stop someplace. Okay, Arthur's out looking. I sent him up ahead.
If we don't stop soon, we'll all be dying.
How is the sound, by the way? Sounds fine on my end, but, you know.
I'm just hoping the law got as lost as we did.
There. Arthur! Any luck?
I found a place where we can get some shelter. Let Davy rest while he... You know. An old mining town. Abandoned. It ain't far. Come on.
I have to say, even on what is basically kind of slightly below medium graphic settings, it's still not a bad looking game. And a decent amount of the time I've spent playing Red Dead Online has been basically wandering around with the in-game camera, which fortunately gives you full-size screen captures as opposed to the rubbish tiny little thumbnail-sized ones you got out of GTA 5. If you wanted nice in-game photos in GTA 5, you basically had to use the camera to clear the HUD off the screen and then take a screenshot with some of the software. Though it's still a bit of a fiddle to actually get the pictures you've taken in-game. They're not great quality JPEGs, but you can get them as JPEGs at the actual display resolution. And just like GTA 5, the lighting engine is really quite nice.
Miss Gaskell,
The textures aren't anything amazing, but
Miss Jones, bring in whatever blankets we have. Mr. Pearson, see what we've got.
overall it's not bad.
Davy's dead.
There was nothing more you could have done.
What are we gonna do? We need supplies.
Well, first of all, you're gonna stay.
Well, you could always just eat Davy. Nice bit of long pig right there.
John and Mike are scouting out ahead. Arthur and I, we're gonna ride out.
God, what film wasn't it? Didn't
Just for a short
Trey
bit.
Parker and Matt
Now, see what
Stone
other
do a
choice we
Western
have.
comedy film about cannibalism?
Listen,
I'm sure they did.
listen to me, all of you, for a moment. Now we've had, well, a bad couple of days. I loved Davy, Jenny, Sean, Mac. They may be okay. We don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground in their stead, I'd do it gladly.
Oh, Frankie Lobster, it's never too soon for cannibalism. I mean, come on
We're gonna
now.
ride out, and we're gonna find some food. Everybody, we're safe now.
Although that might just be the remote Scottish Islander in me talking. I don't know.
Through a storm like this one. And by the time they get here, well, we're gonna be long gone. We've been through worse than this before. Mr. Pearson, Miss Grimshaw, I need you to turn this place into a camp. We may be here for a few days. Now, all of you, get yourselves warm. Stay strong. Stay with me. We ain't done yet. Come on, Arthur.
All right.
Ha! Audio direction, Laszlo. There's a name I recognise from
They both must have headed down the
a
hill.
fair few previous GTA games.
I ain't had time to ask. What really went down back there on that boat?
We missed you. That's what happened. Come on. Oh. Hey, you need horses? Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Smith, get yourself indoors. You need to rest that hand.
I'll live.
Get indoors, son. We need you strong.
Right, I more or less know the controls from playing online.
Come on, let's go.
Ain't sure what we're gonna find out here, Dutch.
We have to try. Stay close. We'll do our best to stick to the trail.
This goddamn weather.
Been 2 days or more like this now. Oh, it has to blow over soon.
And one thing I did discover, that particularly when on horseback, it's way easier to use the first person view because you can independently control the horse and use the mouse just to look around, which when you're trying to shoot from horseback is incredibly useful, because if you do it this way, the moment you turn, well, in third person view the mouse controls where the horse is going rather than the W and D keys, which is just, I don't know, it's a weird way of doing it slightly. But conversely, on foot I've been going to third person because it is kind of annoying with the head bob, and for some reason when you're walking around in third person you just walk, but when you're walking around in first person you sprint everywhere. I don't know why that is. So yeah, I'll be switching point of view quite frequently. There is a purpose to that madness. It's not me just being indecisive.
That's a start.
I'm quite sure my horse keeps pulling off to the left. Hang on. I've also got... Let me just... There we go. Unplug my controller and make sure that's not causing it conniptions. I actually normally do play GTA with the controller because I find it way easier to control cars and helicopters and planes with the thumbsticks, but for actual shooting it's not so good. But of course there's no cars or helicopters in Red Dead 2. I mean, there might be at some point in Red Dead Online, of course. I wouldn't put it past them to add some weird steampunk contraptions that they can then entice people to buy with actual money. But yeah, given that it's mostly horseback or walking, I've been trying to... This is another reason why I was playing Red Dead Online first, is because I was trying to get all the keyboard shortcuts memorised. So yeah, this is medium graphics and it still looks fantastic. Hey, Corporal Flyer with the resub, thank you very much. Manti? I'm not expecting bazillions of viewers for these streams, although I definitely will put the VODs up on YouTube. I might get a couple hundred views there, but it's mostly just I was going to play anyway, so I might as well stream it. But it's not like I've been streaming that often in these last couple of months, so, you know. I'm sure people that were seriously interested in watching playthroughs of this watched it when it first came out for console. It's not like the PC version's drastically different. Whoop. Let's not bash into the butt of his horse. Yeah, if you run into things, I learned that early on, it's not like The Witcher or other games. It's just like, no, you will, you know, if you run into the side of a house or a tree or something, you'll just fall off. Right, you run into anyone else?
You run into anybody else?
I reckon we're the only ones crazy enough to be out in this, Morgan.
Yeah, well, don't talk to me about crazy.
Oh, so no, glad you're all right. I was worried, Micah. Look, it's all gonna work out, Morgan. We lost a few folks, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling so good about it.
Where are all the others?
A giveaway at 1 bazillion. Yes, exactly. If we reach 1 bazillion viewers, I will give away a camo code for all the warships.
You speak to the people.
That's exactly what I'll do. I'm so generous.
Like Dutch told us. Look, don't talk to no one.
I guess I'm okay-ish, Manti.
You know me.
Right.
I'm not really going to go into more detail than I did in that that Christmas video I did.
How much further? Not
In
far.
terms of stuff that's been happening recently, but yeah, there's been some stuff.
Thanks.
Well, where the heck are we going? I guess I'm just supposed to be following him rather than trying to
Okay.
take the lead
Let's
of
keep
everybody.
it down now.
Oh, okay.
Up ahead.
Stop and stash those lanterns, boys.
Whoop. Come to a
Let's
halt.
you two lie low on this.
Yeah, warships is still, I don't know.
Let's head down there.
I mean, not nearly as much as... I mean, it pales in comparison to the continued... well, dumpster fire. Jingles has used dumpster fire to describe the PR fiasco a fair bit, but it almost definitely... also, it definitely applies to Fallout 76. Which is... Dear Lord, they just... I don't even know how Todd Howard gets a full night of sleep at this point. I suspect he just wakes up every 5 minutes
Let's hitch up here.
screaming, Fallout 76! Fallout 76! Fallout 76! I mean, I would. Oh, I got off a bit early there, but that's fine.
Let me handle this. We don't want to spook these fine.
Well, you can, in theory, grab the horse's reins and tie it up, but it won't actually let me. In fact, it won't even let me get back on the horse, so we're just going to have to trust the horse not to run away.
Sounds like quite the party.
You two, get yourself out of sight. One lonely man is a lot less intimidating than 3 nasty-looking degenerates. Micah, hide behind that wagon. Arthur, you take that old shed on the left and stay low, both of you.
Wait, am I supposed to be hiding here, I guess? Right, take cover. Let me... I think third person will be better here.
Hello?
Oh, there is literally a button for peeking out of...
Excuse me. Hello? Oh, well, hello, friend.
What you want?
I am very sorry to disturb you. My friends and I, well, we got into some trouble up the way, lost in the storm. Ah, gentlemen,
We can't.
He's not very well hidden over there, I would say, but what do I know?
I got folks
Arthur,
dying on the
Arthur,
trail.
we got a problem. Folks, there's a corpse right here.
Oh dear.
Now, I just
Well, that's a complete surprise. It's not like I've seen the beginning of this before. What a shock.
Here, you just keep your eyes on Dutch.
I think you. Go now, buddy.
So there's what, like 2 guys right there? And a guy there.
I ain't asking for much. Please, I am kind of desperate.
Opeik! Thank you very much.
Come here.
You did a Mr. Creosote. Did you literally explode after eating a wafer thin mint?
It's goddamn Dutch Vanderlyn, you morons! Colm is gonna.
That was... Oh! That was terrible. Whoop, get to cover, get to cover! I do like that the weapons are, like, it's not people running around with laser guns and combat MGs and ridiculous things and spamming millions of bullets. So the combat's a lot slower paced than... Whoop. Oh, they got him. Oh, reload. Right, he's dead. This way. And the way people flinch when you shoot at them as well. There we go. No hydras! Yeah! Nobody's just going to roll up to you in a tank and ruin your whole day. Well, generally the online is a lot more, even just the little bit I've played, it's a lot more palatable.
Go bring the horses
like you don't globally know exactly where every single other player is all the time, for instance. It's only when you're relatively close by, and so you can do the online activities a lot more confidently.
Food, medicine, whiskey.
Right, so search.
Looks like the poor bastard was married too.
So basically they've turned up and killed the people who've lived in this house. No, I don't want to look at the same thing. I'm just looking at stuff looking for stuff we can pick up apparently.
It's a strange one, all right. Maybe they're hiding up here too.
Ooh, okay, it's not as good as rice cakes, but you know, still quite good.
Nearly as big as the one on yours.
Although, having said that, the very first actual players I met basically immediately proceeded to just randomly kill me. But most of the people I've bumped into have just, I don't know. They've just, you know, they either ride past doing their own thing, or they stop and wave, or it's a lot pleasanter. Apparently, I was reading some articles. Apparently, when it first came out, it was just wall-to-wall dickheads. But you know, it's kind of not surprising. But yeah, it does seem to have settled down a lot, and just the nature of this seems a lot more pleasant overall. So yeah. I've actually not hated playing the online so far. Although it does still have that usual thing of, you know, buy the premium currency, but they do at least give you a trickle, at least at the start of the game. I'm sure it really slows down later on, and, you know, they just encourage you to straight up blow all the money. Because, of course, GTA Online was ridiculously, stupidly, depressingly profitable for them. So, you know, we never got any extra content for GTA 5, any extra story content, because literally all the effort that went into milking cash out of online, and I suspect this will be exactly the same. I don't think we'll ever get any extra story content for this game. Which is a little sad, but what can you do? Let's see if there's any medicine. Yeah, there's a certain, like, especially the, you can fast travel. It costs you in like the regular you know, dollars, in-game currency. So apparently we can't take any of the rest of those, so that's fine. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper just to travel around yourself. And is that, oh, there's a ladder up to the, better check up here. And the auto travel system is actually relatively well done. Sometimes I have to come out of it to get the horse unstuck off a fence or something daft like that, but yeah, you can almost just tab out and watch your horse ride from one point to another while you're, I don't know, browsing Reddit or something. Is there anything else up here? Empty tins. I think we've taken everything. Okay, the gold, so it doesn't kind of significantly slow down? Okay. I mean, I'm sure there is some slowdown, but I'm up to about 2 bars of gold already, having only played 2 days. And some of that was just from playing, others was, other bits were garnered from doing some of the daily challenge stuff. Oh, I'm not fully paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing.
Micah, Arthur, keep looking for stuff.
Don't think we can loot any of these bodies. No, I guess not.
Micah,
Not just
you
yet.
search the cabin, see what we missed.
Sure.
Right, let's get the gun out just in case there's any sneaky so-and-sos. I mean, some of the stuff you can only get for gold, but... And there's a dude.
Bastard shot my cousin. Well, he started it. I'm gonna break your...
Yeah, it's not been too bad so far.
What's going on?
This guy just jumped me.
Wow, this is... I'm just literally tapping F over and over again.
You little bastard. Should I kill him?
No. Not yet. Find out what they're doing here and where Colm is.
Oh, this son of a bitch will talk. Where's Colm O'Driscoll?
With the others. At an old mining camp.
Sadly, you can't. You don't get the CK2 option of read bad poetry to them. Oh, hey, Wazza! I didn't notice it was you. Yeah, I've seen you online playing. Well, on the friends list.
Get it out of him.
So yeah, I'm definitely hook up with you guys, you and Bobbles,
Why are you up here?
We're fixing
at some
to
point.
rob some train. Gonna blow the tracks.
I was just getting settled in, and oh, Pralex still. Pralex plays as well, does he? Excellent.
Well, I would say it looks like you
Yeah,
do what you want with it.
yeah, just getting the hang of everything basically. So
Bring that horse when you're done.
I didn't want to jump in with a session with you guys before I knew what the heck I was even beginning to do. Let's be marginally nice.
Go.
We'll probably shoot him later. Pick up your hat. Yeah, I know. I've realised very early on that your hats just constantly get knocked off. Apparently, nobody has invented the chin strap.
There, boy.
Right. Well, we already had a horse, but apparently now we have 2 horses. Which is probably a good thing, because my other horse that I didn't actually tie to the hitching post has probably wandered off by this point, because the horses will just do that.
So I'm a little bastard scurrying off.
Yeah. Figured he won't get far in this anyway.
That looks like a decent horse. You should keep him. You need to hitch him. He's already skittish. Micah, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Right, I haven't actually hitched this horse yet. No, apparently it's not going to let me. I have to go and do the thing.
Leave her alone.
I wasn't doing nothing. She's one of them O'Driscolls.
No, she ain't, Micah. Look at her. Miss. Are you...
Oh, you fool! Micah!
Miss. Now, it is going to be okay. We mean you no harm.
I'm not sure the part where her house is on fire is so much okay.
It'll be
Or the
okay.
fact that her husband is dead.
We need to get out of here, and quick.
But, you know, otherwise everything is fine.
You okay, miss?
They came 3 days ago. And my husband, they...
Also, we looked everywhere. Where the heck was she supposed to have been hiding?
You are safe now. And you can't stay here. You come with us. Arthur.
Miss, it's okay. We're bad men. We ain't them. It's okay. Get on. We'll keep you safe until you figure out what you want to do.
What's your name, miss? Miss
Adler.
Adler.
Sadie Adler. Mrs. He was my husband.
Hey! Somebody's
I'm definitely noticing the difference with this and my new graphics card, by the way. There's no way my old graphics card would have
How'd you get on?
been able to comfortably stream this. It couldn't even manage streaming GTA 5 without weird graphical errors and things not loading up.
We found some of them there, but there is more about.
I got
Scout
AMD something. I can't remember.
It is what it is. But we found
It had some numbers in it. It's not. I was looking at a bunch of them, and I almost went with a Vega 56, which is a slightly older card, and then I actually came up with. Hang on, what is it?
And Mrs. Adler, it's gonna be
No, it doesn't
okay.
actually say on it. It's some kind of Radeon card.
They turned her into a widow. Animals.
I did mention it in one of my YouTube videos, but I honestly can't remember the. Right, it's one with a bunch of numbers. It's like the RX something.
Mr. Morgan, we put you in a
RX 5700. Is that right? Something like
You're with
that.
the fellas over there.
What? How come
Hey,
I-
Cat. Merry Christmas to you too.
Next to Bill Williamson and a bunch
We're
of
playing an appropriately snowy game. I was a bit tempted by an Nvidia
He ain't been seen in
similar
days.
spec card, but
Whether they let up.
the spec wasn't quite as good, and the only real thing it would have had going for it was the
Hello, Arthur.
you know, the recording thing that Nvidia cards can do. But actually, AMD's are caught up a bit in that regard, so they now have a similar function.
You?
I don't know if it's quite as good,
I need you to.
but I prefer
I'm sorry to
third-party
ask.
things like OBS or Bandicam for recording anyway, because with these
He ain't been seen in 2
hardware codecs for recording straight from the card, they don't tend to give you a lot of actual control over, you know, bit rate and the exact codec and container format and all that sort of thing.
Yes. Javier, will you ride out with Arthur to take a look for John? You're the 2 best fit men we've got.
So I'd prefer to stick with something that gives me actual options, because as I've learned in my years of doing YouTube, you don't. There's no one-size-fits-all solution in terms of recording. Like, you have to finesse things a bit. I when I was doing World of Tanks more often, I actually used a different
This way. Last I know.
workflow. Yeah, workflow. Let's go with that. To recording warships, and you know, it's still the same program recording, but the actual
Not like that.
processing from that point
Wouldn't be the first
was a bit different. And other games as well, you know, I tend to, like CK2 for example, I used a completely different final render process for that, because, you know, it was not exactly a graphically intense game, so I could use a much faster render without sacrificing detail and getting lots of artifacting. So you don't really want to rely on something that doesn't give you the flexibility.
Let's hope it ain't
I mean,
more
if you
for
don't have
this
any other kind of recording software, then something like Shadow Play is fine for the most part, but if you want to get into doing it seriously, then you need to have something that gives you some options.
Recently. That way.
Sure, well, come on then.
Right, so we have to find a person, I guess?
Tracks leading to the river. Let's cross.
I'm not even sure how we could see tracks, given that, you know, everything is just covered with snow, but
You think it's John?
You tell me. These are horse tracks for sure, but could be anyone. Let's just see where they lead.
yeah, I mean, for a lot of the games, Manti, that I play, honestly, like, this is the first modern game I've had in quite a while. Although, having said that, I also got
And suddenly they were
Borderlands 3 with the like code for it with the graphics card, and it was either that or Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, which, yeah, no,
out for this crevice.
just no. Why would I? But otherwise, a lot of the games I play are not particularly, you know, new or graphically
But it was
intensive.
a bad situation.
It was really only because those rare occasions when I did need something a bit chunkier, my old card was definitely getting long in the tooth. and it's nice to be able to now do fast hardware renders.
Mac and John,
Although I'm not
Sean, we don't even know.
super duper pleased with the quality. I might go back to doing it how I was doing it previously,
We were only just holding on.
which was oh yeah, let's just use the cinematic if we have that option. Which was actually putting a raw video file out of Sony Vegas, or, well, not Sony Vegas anymore, but the Vegas editing suite, and then doing the final pass through Handbrake, which is a bit more time consuming, but compared to the direct card render, does give, I think, nicer results. The extra time paid off, especially for like the AMX video I did as a straight card render just to save time a bit, and I could notice the difference in the final result on YouTube.
Careful, it's getting narrow here.
I think, Manti, once I have concluded however many more episodes there will be of Tropico,
Yeah.
I think I probably will go back and do CK2 with the animal Easter egg mode. Just because, why not? I really do need to, like, there are ducks in it, so I must play them. It might be a decent lead into CK3 coming out, but I don't know when that's going to be exactly. CK3 is probably going to be a while yet.
John was riding that horse when we left Blackwater. Let's see if he can hear us.
Yeah, let's start an avalanche. That's a good idea.
Come on, up there.
Right, the snow deformation's not bad. It probably looks better on higher graphic settings.
I don't think we can go much further.
What, hitch horse? Hitch horse to what?
Walk from here. I grabbed that shotgun
I just kind of shoved it in the snow, apparently. Oh, right. I need to... Okay.
down this way.
Aha! Curse my sudden but inevitable betrayal. Don't know if I can actually do that. Oh, Pagan is brilliant now with Holy Fury. The ability to, like, you almost don't want to play any of the established religions. You want to play something that can be reformed just because you can do wacky combinations. I mean, it's kind of what was in Civ 6. Even Civ 5, where you kind of, you built your religion in a modular fashion over time.
You're telling me.
Instead, it's just, all at once. But, yeah, it's great being able to make your own religions.
Careful, there's a drop here. It's slippery, be careful.
I don't know if there's actual
Stay low under here.
ice mechanics. For sliding around the place.
Watch your step. It's real slippery. Stay close to the wall. Up this way.
I still haven't quite got the hang of when it says stuff like the health cores, the stamina cores. I'm still haven't quite got my
Sounds closer now.
head around that, to be honest.
We're coming, John.
Like the difference between the core and the outer meter. Is it the core kind of dictates how fast the outer meter part will refill over time?
Dang, it's cold.
I'm not entirely sure. Oh, hey, Latika Mafia, didn't notice you there. Just play Finns. Well, it's
A few days.
in terms of, reformable religions, you can.
Here,
Although Finland does start off being particularly poor and impoverished.
I'm not designed for this snow.
Also, the amount of littering in this game is just, oh, it's so bad. Apparently there were no litter bins in the Old West. Yeah, this snow is, I think this is definitely looking a bit wonky because I'm on a slightly lower than middle graphics setting.
That's John. We're coming.
Why is there like footprints up that way and oh, I don't even know. No actual footprints over here.
Over here. All right. Hot down, Marston. That's quite a scratch you got there.
Never thought I'd say this, but good to see you, Arthur.
So how... Why is he here exactly? Was he just trying to find a bit that was a bit sheltered?
I don't feel too good neither.
Is he supposed to have just gotten lost on the mountain?
Don't die just yet, cowboy. Come on, compadre.
Yeah, that's the thing, Opahik. You know, this coming out just sort of underlines how bonkers it is that the PR stuff costs as much as it does. You can buy all the boosters, you know, not even the PR itself. You could buy all the boosters, and I think it would cost more than this game costs. It's mad. Oh noes!
Look up there.
I'll distract him while you get to the horses. Go. Draw them
Yeah, no, I'll totally. Okay, right. So,
Here we go, John. We'll leave them to Arthur.
where are you, little dogs? Bad dogs!
Bring them this way.
Surely a rolled up newspaper would be better, but, you know. Anyway. Right, I can't skin these or anything. I don't think we've got that available as a thing yet. I don't even know which horse is mine. Oh, well, okay. I was trying to get on your horse, Javier. Yeah, that's probably one of the easier ones. Like, you compare it to, say, Zoroastrianism, but that's got the more potential for, I don't know, overall fun, perhaps. But the redo of Africa, which was sorely overdue, that's now actually a pretty fun region to start as well, and those are all basically pagan reformable religions.
Up there? More of them.
Well, there's Zunism, but you know, there's also Zoroastrianism, where you can reform the Persian Empire. Oh yeah, I should be first person. Oh. Yeah, trying to do this, and yeah, they got savaged to death by whoopsie. Retry checkpoint, I guess. Can I do restart? Oh, wait, I pressed the wrong key. Never mind. Oh yeah, you can't reform it, but you know, you can do all the... I think all the founding stuff is fun. Yeah, I don't think I meant to press the button that I pressed. I think I should have pressed the checkpoint button.
Last I know, John was headed up the river.
For all we know, he kept
I wish I had more revolver still, actually.
He wouldn't leave. Not like that.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Because the absolute hardest and most challenging one to reform is the Aztec religion, and it is possible to do that without console cheating, but basically you've got to have the Aztecs show up and swear fealty to them and convert. But the Aztec holy sites had spread out all across Europe.
Let's hope it ain't more of O'Driscoll's boys.
Well,
Can we skip? No, that pauses.
Seems somebody left. Recently.
Well, the fun thing with Aztecs is all the human sacrifice.
Well, come on then.
There's some tracks leading to the river.
We also did a thing where the Aztecs, I think you have to have one of the other DLCs, the one that added all the advanced plague and disease mechanics. But yeah, if the Aztecs turn up, they can bring a disease with them, which is kind of supposed to mirror the various plagues and whatever that the conquistadors and other settlers took over to the New World. It's like the New World's revenge on us kind of thing.
It was crazy. Raining bullets.
Yeah, Zionism trying to like create a strong Zionist empire and reform it is definitely not for the faint of heart.
Dutch killed a girl in a bad way. But it was a bad situation.
That ain't like him, though.
Tracks go left, down here. Davey got shot. Mac and John, both shot too. Sean, we don't even know. I'm surprised we escaped at all. By the time you boys showed up from the other side of town, we were only just holding on.
So basically, I wasn't even paying attention to this the first time round. It all just went, there was some kind of, you know, job, and it all went completely pear-shaped.
Damn snow's coming in hot again.
We'll lose these tracks if we don't move fast.
I mean, even, bear in mind, this is medium graphic settings. I think even on lowest graphic settings, it would still look kind of halfway okay. But I don't think you'd get it to do 60 consistently.
Watch yourself. It's not very wide here.
Next time I horribly fail, and there will be a next time, I will remember to use the button for going from the checkpoint. I promise. Not just restart the whole thing.
A lot of fresh snow here.
I don't know about this, Javier. I mean, we can't follow nothing.
Let's push on a little bit. Maybe we'll pick up the
One of the settings that weirdly enough really did improve overall FPS was leaving on motion blur, because the motion blur setting also seems to have the depth of field setting
over there. You see that?
bundled in with it. They're not separated out like they are in a lot of games. And it seems to reduce the amount of, when the motion blurs on, the amount of background detail that it needs to render. That really made a big difference. Normally that's the first thing I turn off in a game, is motion blur. But it's not, like, it's quite subtle in this game.
Come on. Up there.
And just the extra FPS difference it makes meant I'd actually have left it on. I don't think you can entirely turn off shadows, but there are a lot of options related to shadows.
He's coming from up ahead somewhere. I don't think we can go much further on the horses. We'll have to walk from here. I'd grab that shotgun from the horse.
Right, yeah, I'd honestly much rather just... I don't know why it makes me grab the thing, although it really is, I guess, just to, you know, tell me how to do it. I'd really much prefer to have the 6-shooter. Yeah, shadows and lighting and any kind of anti-aliasing. Those are all big FPS hits. This game does have there's about 4 different ways of
Watch out here.
There's like 3 different anti-aliasing options, and then you can also what's it called?
High up here.
You're telling me.
Where they render the frame at more than the actual screen resolution, and then like downscale it. It's super sampling. There we go. So yeah, there's super sampling as well. So you can, I did briefly experiment with chucking them all on at the same time, and yeah, even with my new card, it wasn't
It's slippery. Be careful.
particularly good frame rates. Hey, Redman.
Stay low under here.
I'll tell you one thing I am doing new with this stream that I've never done before.
Good now.
I realised that with OBS Studio these days you can
Real slippery.
link it directly to Twitch.
Up here. Come on.
So I don't even have a browser window open, it's just all the little pop-out windows that you can get from OBS
That sounds closer now.
for stuff like the chat and the activity feed and the rest of it. It's quite handy. It was a feature I didn't even know was there. I just randomly discovered. I think that must have been one of the more recent updates where that was added in. Right, oh, there we go. I think I'll just stick to first person this time so I don't forget to switch back when we come to fighting the wolves. Yeah, there aren't... Super sampling isn't available in that many games. Another one I noticed it in is City Skylines, or was that a mod that did it? It might have been a mod actually. It made the game look considerably nicer. You bought the Georgia!
Here. Take a drink of that.
Yeah, it's not... It's okay.
Time for this snow.
It's fine.
Let's keep moving then. Come on. John, can you hear me?
I think, yeah, some games do that, like, was it Elite Dangerous? You'll get some games that will super sample for screenshots, and you can, like, they take a really long time when you hit the screenshot button, but it's because they're rendering it larger than the frame, the screen size, so they can produce a higher quality image.
That's quite a scratch you got there.
Never thought I'd
Ouch!
say
That
this, but
that sounds about as bad as Australian gaming prices, Oppeek.
You don't look so good.
For some reason, Australia
feel too good.
hates video games. Hello, Squallow. Oh, I completely have just been forgetting over and over again to thank you for the Christmas boxes that you sent for Warships. So, yes, thank you very much for those.
Come on, compadre.
Although they have, sadly, these days, like, they don't give you doubloons for doubles of ships anymore. It just simply doesn't give you a double. It used to be with the Christmas boxes, if you already had a ship in whatever random drop it gave you, it would give you doubloon compensation for it. So even if you didn't get a ship you didn't already have, which is impossible for me now because I think I have every ship that was on the drop list, which kind of surprised me how many premium ships I have. But to be fair, a lot of them were given by Wargaming. But yeah, it previously would have given me a huge pile of doubloons, and these days not so much.
Okay, here we go, John.
Right, so yeah, I really would prefer to have the 6-shooter right now, so this 2-shot gun, but okay. Here, doggy, doggy, doggy. Oh, nice. If you can get the headshots. Oh, get off, bad dog. There. Slightly weird looking wolves, to be honest. I wonder if it's like when they have the winter mode in right, can we... No, it won't let me switch... Oh, is that not my horse? That's my horse. Okay, it's fine. Right, let's get the actual better gun back. Yeah, you can throw snowballs at people in GTA 5 Online when it's winter. They have a special snow effect. I wonder if I can throw snowballs at people while we're in the snowy section of the game. Do I have any tier 10s on NA? I have the Moskva, and I think I put premium camo on it, so theoretically I can get about the same benefit as a tier 8 premium.
You'll be fine. It's just like a dog bite.
Knew a fella got bit by a dog. Died.
You can knock people out. Yeah, you can knock people over. I was doing the casino heist with just a. Like, it was completely unplanned. I think I told you I'd done the casino heist, but it was basically just a completely random person that was like one of 3 people in a session I ended up in, and we just ended up helping each other out. And so I was like, oh, I'll just check my businesses and whatever. And then it was like 4 in the morning suddenly, and we'd done the casino heist. Right, there we go. This gun is so much better for dealing with the naughty dogs. I'm still going to reload, but... Ooh. Ooh. I'm definitely a bit better at dealing with further away targets than close by ones. There's a little more time to finesse your aim.
Jesus. You still with us, Marston?
Yeah, I think you said you got the Thunder. Yeah, the Thunder is pretty decent.
We have some shelter now.
Thanks for coming for me.
Of course. That bullet in Blackwater, now this.
Yeah, that's I think a fair assessment of the boxes this year. They're still like they're okay for what they are.
Don't want to leave a trail right back to camp.
You know?
Though frankly, with everything else that's been going on with the PR, you know, anything that just doesn't totally suck makes wargaming look. Oh yeah, these water settings, you can definitely tell this is not the high water settings. But again, water settings in games also can be a bit of an FPS killer.
Let's push hard and get back.
When I'm just playing myself, I can crank the preset all the way up to absolute maximum. It's when I start, and it's fine, it's when I start adding all the extra anti-aliasing options and stuff on that things start to chug a little bit. But
Can we get some help here?
and this snow tessellation looks so weird. It's fine.
Can we get some help? We need some help here.
Come on, help him down.
You're alive! You're alive!
There we go. There we go. Ay, careful, idiotas. It's his leg.
Come on, let's get you warm. Thank you.
Yeah, the Wall of Tanks boxes
This is a new low, even by your
do
standards.
seem a bit less sucky than the warships ones this year.
Thank you.
Which might be the first time ever.
Not today.
Yeah, and I remember then doing that with the
I was just discussing with Herr Strauss when the weather breaks.
the Type 59, that one, yeah, was that what, 2 years ago now?
I know. The West is
Which
where
is
our
the dirty
problems
side
work.
of free-to-play tactics.
Come on, Herr Strauss. Let's get warm.
Thank you, Mr.
But at least it's time gating it and not fully locking it behind the boxes. Was it last year? Maybe it was last year. I don't pay attention to Wall of Tanks these days. I really don't. The only reason I know about the double-barreled tanks was seeing it on Twitter.
Some old abandoned mining town while we wait the thaw. Hardly the spring I had been hoping for.
I'm actually going to see if I can boop the settings up by 1. It should be fine. Probably not going to drastically improve things, like the snow tessellation might be a bit wonky, but as long as it's keeping over 30 FPS.
We get warm. Wait. Storm breaks, we move. We're safe here. Warm enough.
There is something. Miracle Tonic and whatever that was.
We have been shot at before, Jose. I don't feel that this is honestly anything new.
New Tsushima, it's not got any
We had a bit of bad luck.
particularly rave reviews.
So now we wait a bit.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was a massive fan of that.
Money, or we get some more money.
It's for most people, I'm sure it's like the last one of the steel ships that they would pick up.
For now. We got this. We're safe.
Right, this might be slightly chugging a little, even having just moved it up 1. think this is dipping below 30. Which I think we'll switch that back. Oh, no, that's a social club. That's not settings. That's the wrong S. Hey, Foo. Black is kind of a meme ship. The Flint is dirty-ish, but not that dirty in comparison to, like, you compare it to the Belfast and it really isn't that much, just because the smaller caliber guns, pretty limited range. Right, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's wander outside. There's several markers. Yeah, Flint's, you know, it's fine. If you get on with the Atlanta, you'll be able to play the Flint without problem. The fact that it's US smoke is obviously quite nice. Flint has smoke and I think, does it get the radar? I honestly can't remember. Right, this is the hunting. I remember that, and then I'm not sure what the one over there is. Let's do the hunting tutorial first. It also gets the infinite defensive uses like Atlanta does. Right. This whole thing of you have to focus to, like, that seems a bit needlessly Byzantine.
We have a few cans of food and a rabbit. For what, 10, 12 people? When I was in the Navy.
I do not wish to hear about what you got up to in the Navy, Mr. Pearson.
See, there's your naval connection, Foo.
We were stranded at sea for 50 days.
And you unfortunately survived.
When we ran away from Blackwater, I wasn't able to get supplies in.
Well, when government agents are hunting you down, sometimes shopping trips need to be cut short. We'll survive. We always have.
Yeah, Flint was the first steel ship.
I sent Lenny and Bill.
It was the first of the ranked season rewards. I don't. It wasn't even steel at that point. It was predates steel. You had to win a certain number of ranked seasons, or get to rank 1 a certain number of times before you could get it.
Wait a second. Hold on. Here. You're gonna need something to eat out there.
Assorted, salted off.
Summers is the tier 10. The USS Black is tier 9. Yeah, that's the one with the 44 knot torpedoes. It makes the Sims torpedoes look fast.
You need to rest, Charles.
You think this is rest? Come along.
Right, let's go be bad at hunting.
Here, you take this. I can't use it and you'll have...
Apparently one of the gripes with Red Dead Online at the moment is if there are too many people on a server, the actual animal population for some reason drastically crashes. Like, it goes down to almost nothing. If it's more than like 16 people, I can't remember what the figure quoted was, but it seemed weird.
How are you holding up, Charles?
Oh, watch it. I'm okay. Apart from this hand. Stupid mistake.
Still bad?
Right, is this...
It'll be fine in
I'm
a day
not sure
or
if this
two.
is working correctly. I
just
think
can't
so.
pull a bow right now.
I sure hope I can. Never really got the hang
No,
of it.
now we're falling behind for some reason.
So, you reckon we're gonna find something to kill that ain't no Driscoll?
I'm not entirely sure how this follow mechanic is...
Sure. Pearson doesn't know what he's talking about. Now the weather's eased off a bit, they'll be needing to feed.
Right, tap or hold. So if I hold it, I just start galloping.
Higher ground.
Been a wild few days,
If I tap it,
alright.
it doesn't seem to
Riding north from
do...
Blackwater,
I don't know.
getting stuck in the storm, bringing John back in.
You've had a lot put on you. I wish I could have done more.
I didn't mean it like that, just...
I really... How is this supposed to... It doesn't seem like it's working properly.
Me neither.
This auto-follow thing.
Well, Javier told me a bit, but it sure weren't good.
You have to tap it a couple of times to... Okay, it just... I don't know. It doesn't... It's not very clear. There are a few red men, but I don't think I've seen one personally. I've seen screenshots of them. I'm not bad, Fu. Yesterday was a relatively modest Christmas meal, so it's not like I have to spend the day recovering or anything.
See some of the ground uncovered here. Ha! Come on, let's try this way. Keep your eyes peeled.
Right, I've tried tapping it a couple of times. And we've come to a halt. Come on, horse. Horse.
That's good.
No wind at all is bad, but if it's too strong, they won't move. Now shh. Stay quiet.
Yeah, that was rather ill-judged. I mean, I like Earl as a person, but that was not reading the situation well.
Hey,
and considering he is one of the, you know, community-facing folks, yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie. That was not a good plan. Yep, no, we're still on Boxing Day for another 3 hours.
We'll track them on foot. You're gonna need the bow.
Oh, I don't have my special Witcher vision yet.
Scare everything around.
Right, oh, it's there.
Keep down. Move quietly and slowly.
Hey, Shiva.
You see the tracks?
I think so.
Do I?
Maybe not.
Focus.
Ah, yeah, it's basically Witcher vision.
Get your eye in. You'll be able to track nearly as well in grass and woods.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that stop tracking button. And I'm stuck in a tree. Don't be stuck in a tree. Where did the track go? Here. Honestly, I didn't even... I mean, there was the usual bottle of wine out for dinner, but I'm not a wine drinker. When's the last time I had booze? I don't know.
There they are.
A little while ago. I very occasionally have a beer, and even more occasionally have a bit of whiskey. I'm not a big booze drinker.
We want a good, clean kill. Get good tension on the string before releasing. Good shot. Now let's try for another.
Yeah, sadly I can't pop smoke, but I can be sneaky. Stay out of their detection radius, you know. Right, well, somehow we're tracking through this stream with our magical Witcher senses. And you can pick up the arrows. Nice, that's useful. Whoa, hello.
Come. That's okay. Try again.
Yeah, they kind of were a little unexpectedly there. I don't think we're going to get a second one somehow. Unless they just stop for you. Maybe they stop. This is the hunting tutorial after all. Yeah, no, apparently they just stop.
That's all we can carry.
Well, that
You pick up one, I'll get the other.
seemed to indicate that we got the kill, except...
It'll be fine once I get it on my
Or did we? Was there 3 of them? I thought there was only 2. Oh, okay, there must have been 3 of them. And now for the magically teleporting horse, because for all their, you know, everything of realism, I think they realised at some point that, yeah, if they didn't make it so that horses can come to you when needed, it was going to get real old real fast. Although it's a bit more subtle about it than, say, The Witcher 3, where sometimes you would see the horses literally, you know, spawning the world. Stow.
Not bad, boy.
Call your mechanic, yeah. Have the horse delivered to you. That totally seems like a thing you should be able to do. Light a signal fire, have a guy bring you your horse.
Ready to head back when you are.
Come on then. Let's head back.
It's interesting that they did only... They went for a single character this time, rather than try the same format as GTA 5 with multiple characters, which worked all right, but it was a bit discordant sometimes.
Should be enough meat here to keep us all fed for a few days.
Right, let's try and
You found him.
get the auto-follow going.
Yeah, it's easier when they ain't shooting back.
No! Horse, I want you to... Oh, for goodness sake.
Considering how things were looking a couple of days back, well, maybe our luck is finally on the turn.
Seems to me we should be putting our effort.
Right, do I have to be, like, alongside rather than following behind?
People are still
Maybe.
weak, and well, you've seen how snowed in those wagons are. They ain't going nowhere until we get some more thaw.
You're probably right. And
Oh, you still have to... Oh, you can't take your hand away from the keyboard entirely. That seems to sort of defeat the point, to be
This is
honest,
a
but...
big country. We'll find somewhere to lie low. Dutch and Jose will have a plan.
Oh, well.
You notice how
No, you can buy shortbread all year round,
ever since we
Red
fed
Man.
back
It's not
home,
just some, you know,
careful.
touristy
We
thing
give the
or
cat
seasonal
good
thing.
5 minutes to grab the essentials and go, and he doesn't even bring a crumb of food.
good that we caught more than one. A lot of mouths.
Personally, I prefer the really cheap, stodgy stuff. You can get nice, quite crumbly shortbread,
Not sure
but
she'll
for
be
me it's the
much.
cheap, stodgy, dense shortbread all the way.
You would too. She lost her husband, her home, everything she had.
So what do we do with her?
Once we get out of here and we're back on our feet, we'll see. She might have family somewhere.
So it was O'Driscoll's you ran into there?
Yeah. Last thing we was expecting.
What is it with the O'Driscolls?
You ain't dealt with them?
That's a fairly accurate description. Shortbread usually has fairly good structural integrity as well. Like if you try and...
They've been over this
Oh, like with a rich tea or a digestive, for example, and man, this is the Britishest
well,
conversation ever, but you dunk those in and they will just disintegrate if it's like a microsecond too long, but shortbread tends to be a bit more robust.
Dutch go way back.
It is still possible to hold it in too long and have it,
Proper blood feud.
you know, just drop as a soggy mess into the bottom of your cup, but you have to... It has to be really quite a long time.
Bear up ahead.
Shoot the bear! This is probably a bad plan. Let's not shoot the bear. See you, Opperheek.
He must be real.
Have fun buying tat at the shops.
Spring storms like this.
Rich tea, a Satan's biscuit. Are you sure that's not like Garibaldi biscuits or something? Oh, my horse is just not wanting to go forwards very much. Do it, shoot the horse. Yeah, it's just like Skyrim, right? You can choose to sneak past the horse, you can run up and stab the horse, not the horse, Why do I keep saying horse? The bear.
It's okay.
Horse, behave or I will shoot you in the back of the head. Is that encouraging enough?
We ain't ever talked that much, you and me. How long you been with us now? 5, 6 months?
Something like that?
Bet you didn't expect this.
What?
Any of this. Blackwater mess. Being up here.
Sooner or later, a job's gonna go wrong.
Sky is nice.
Nature of life.
It's got the Culins in, which are fairly famous.
You want me to move
Very
on?
distinctive mountain range.
Oh, not at all. Just
Also, they they make whiskey,
I did that for
so
a
you'd
long
probably enjoy it
time.
on that count.
I'm done with it. I was wondering if someone's gonna kill you in your sleep.
See you, Lasqualo.
still wonder that most nights.
Thanks for joining us.
I reckon you're okay. This suits me. Sure, I could fall in with another guy.
The mount. I've said this before, but the mountain range at the start of Prometheus was the Culins in Sky.
Oh, yes. Dutch is certainly different.
He treats me fair. Most of you do. And for a fellow with a
I can't say getting to Scotland will be particularly
that
cheap
ain't
though.
normally the case.
Well, we need you now. More than ever.
Good. And how long have you been with these boys? Why ain't you run off?
Me? Oh, 20 years, something like that. Since I was a boy.
20 years?
Yeah.
For reference, for everyone else's information, Redman's in Canada, so you know
Got me a few
you'd have a little
hours
ways to get to
back.
Scotland.
I'm sure.
Dutch saved me. Saved most of us. That's why we need to stick by him through this. He always sees us right.
Okay, so apparently we're quite loyal to Dutch.
He'll do for now.
I wonder if that will
I
last.
appreciate you letting me take Taima the other night.
She's a strong one. It's been as hard on the horses as on the rest of us. I don't know what.
Wait, this is a she-horse? Damn, I'm not going to get to enjoy the magnificently crafted horse ball physics. It was funny when this game came out and that's all anyone could focus on was horse testicles. Sure, okay. Well, as long as everyone's got their priorities right.
Won't take nobody but him.
Left control and spacebar.
I'm gonna hitch time over here.
Just doing nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just not doing it right somehow. Oh, right, no, horse, that's past the hitching post.
We don't want him running off.
Come on, let's get these over to Pearson. Thank you for showing me how to use the bow properly.
I only showed you a little. Takes a lifetime of practice to master.
Well, well, well. Just drop it down.
Okay, I think the tessellation has gone a bit wonky. I don't know if this is a...
Bring it over.
in combination... Oh, I don't... This is just... that's wacky.
Find a camp rat loitering around in the kitchen.
That's a really odd little graphical glitch right there. I'm sure it would be not present at higher graphic settings, but, you know.
No, it is.
I'll take my solid 30 FPS while streaming over weird tessellation.
Got on just fine. Charles is a wonder. Have a drink, boy.
You celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday? Really? Is that a thing?
Jesus, what is that? Navy rum, sir. It's the only thing. The only thing. Keeps you sane, it does. Yeah, seems to have done a treat on you. You go rest that hand, Charles.
I'll be fine in a few days.
Well, I'm sure if we ever do go full Republican, which is probably not going to happen anytime soon, but, you know,
You're always one with the
ditch the
jokes.
monarchy, I'm sure they'll just relocate to Canada.
I'll see you both later.
You skinned that one that you dumped on the floor there.
Right. This all seems totally hygienic. Oh, that's lovely and graphic.
Not too bad, Mr. Morgan. Yeah. They always said you were a butcher. You know, you could trade these or sell these in pretty much any town. If you're looking to make a legitimate bit of money, of course.
Right now, I'm just looking to get off this mountain alive.
Well, if you catch anything else, you bring it to me.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Heck, Arthur Morgan's first decent bit of hunting after all these years.
Yeah. Well, we're on the run now. Everyone's
Oh
got
God!
to
Don't even fool.
just make a good stew.
Don't
Need
even.
it. It's been a tough few days.
Although, honestly, you know, realistically speaking, it would probably be like Ireland. We'd have a reasonably ceremonial president. Right, here's the other marker we've got, but I'm actually just going to get myself some water real quick. And also, you know, like stand up for 30 seconds so my legs don't fall off. Oh, right, let's see what the next task is.
I thought you liked action. Couple of days on the lam, you lot have all turned yellow. Apart from you.
May 18th, okay.
I ain't never seen so many long faces.
By drinking you mean maple syrup, right?
Fell, but when I fall, I don't want no fuss.
When you fall, there'll be a party.
Probably. That funny, huh? Sure. I don't feel like being laughed at by the likes of you two.
Stop it! Now! You fools punching each other when Como Driscoll's needing punching hard. You want to sit around waiting for him to come
Well, everyone's
find us?
getting along real well.
We got work to do. Come on.
Are you sure about this, Dutch?
Yes.
Folks been through a lot recently. We hardly back on our feet yet.
And the last thing we need is to get bushwhacked by Como Driscoll. Let's go.
I know you hate him, Dutch.
He's here for us.
I doubt that.
No, you're just doubting me.
I would never doubt you, Dutch. You always said revenge is a luxury we can't afford.
This is the right call, Arthur. Take this. And this is about more than revenge for business long ago.
How am I not surprised, Red Man?
About trains.
A rye with
Here.
maple syrup in it.
Always had good information.
Okay.
And you think now is the right time to hit a train?
Now you might fancy living on deer piss and rabbit shit. I'm getting too old for that life. Mr. Matthews, Mr. Smith, Mr. Pearson, would you please look after the place? There are O'Driscolls about. Yeah!
It's disgusting. Okay.
Southwest, right, Arthur? Yeah. He said follow the main trail southwest. They're camped near some lake.
Okay, let's go find these bastards.
Right, I definitely know this bit. I definitely watched this far with Sircon's playthrough. Where you have a bit of a shootout with some of the O'Driscolls, and I think after that there's a train robbery.
What's that? Tracks. Horses, quite a few of them.
Yeah, that does sound fairly disgusting, Red Man, I have to say.
They must be this way.
But clearly somebody out there likes it enough that they keep making the stuff.
I know you don't think much of my ideas recently, but this is the right move.
Okay. You know I got your back.
I learned a long time ago that you hit Como Driscoll.
It's probably a bit late to be asking after nearly an hour and a half, but everyone can hear me okay over the volume of the game, right?
Between you and him needs to be put to rest.
Helps if I keep pointing the Just randomly looking over here.
Some things I can forgive, others I can forget. What he did to Annabelle, I can't do neither.
You killed his brother, Dutch.
Yes, I did. And I hope the bastards will be reunited soon enough. That's how this'll end.
Damn right, boss.
These all sound like thoroughly pleasant people. So we're the good guys, right?
See that smoke?
I mean, we're basically like a group of travelling nuns or something. Just spreading niceness and goodness and Christian cheer. There is something real wonky going on with the tessellation.
Hold up here. All right, gentlemen. This is it. Are we goddamn ready?
Ready, Dutch.
Good. Now,
I think I'll just stick in first person for
Morgan
now.
and I, we're gonna head up here a little, see if we can't get a sense of the layout of the camp. Mr. Williamson, Mr. Bell, you two take up a hidden position just outside the camp. Mr. Summers, Mr. Escuela, you two hold position here. Let's go.
Oh, right, so we are getting off the horses. Okay. Can I, Oh. It's not letting me get the horse inventory just yet.
There they are. That's definitely them.
Home?
I think so.
Yeah, that's him.
Am I supposed to be looking for something in particular, or is this just watching?
Talking to?
I guess just watching.
Seem very happy.
No.
They leaving?
Seem to be. Should we go get him?
No. Colin can wait. Best to get some of them out of there. And much less fun to rob him and his score if he never finds out about it. Come on, let's get down there.
Right. Time to go shoot some things.
Don't forget to grab that rifle from your horse. You two get up there and keep us covered.
You got it, Dutch.
Good. Come on, let's go.
We could take the bow as well, but yeah, we don't need that. Right, how we got 100 rounds. Carbine repeater.
We'll circle around the far side and go down that way, same as Micah and Bill. Like you said, revenge is a luxury we can't afford.
Yeah, just wasn't sure you agreed with me.
Arthur, have you completely lost faith in me? Our needs right now are supplies.
This is one of those annoying times where
Everything.
an NPC is walking at a pace that is out of sync with what your character can walk at.
Down there to deal with as it is. Now, come on.
Oh, wrong button. I do find it weird that depending what view you're in, the character pace is different. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why wouldn't it be the same speed? It's a really odd little choice that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's steep here.
As you may have gathered. I don't think having the weapon out makes any difference, or it doesn't seem to. I think even at this graphics setting we're still dipping below 30 FPS occasionally.
Maybe I should take the lead on this. They're going to be gunning for you.
They ain't got me yet.
No, but the way our luck's been running.
Hush. Let's just get down there first.
It's a good thing we're in totally, you know, discrete colours that don't stand out against the snow at all, right? It's an equally good thing that apparently they've got lookouts with really crap eyes. Or so it would seem. I don't think it'll let me. Sadly. I say sadly, you know, it would end the game right there, so probably a good thing that it won't let me, because you know players would.
Come on, follow me.
Much, yeah, that's. I think you're onto something there, Fu.
Okay, let's get in cover.
Much has been lost since the days when we just strode around the battlefield in bright red.
So, what are we doing, Dutch? I can take this if you want.
Just make the call. You want to take the lead? Go.
I don't even know what that means.
We don't have time to debate this.
Take the lead.
Okay. I'll go first.
You're dead, you sons of bitches!
I think I shot his hat off. So obviously you get some kind of morale penalty for that, right? Oh, I keep forgetting you need to cock the thing before you can fire it again.
I'm moving up! Put some fire behind me! Ah!
Oh, okay, you get a little thingy cam. Should take out that guy up there. The only way to reliably get a one-hit kill seems to be headshots. I don't think I've had it happen otherwise. Unless they're already injured from something. Right, where are the other people? Oh, can't actually fire that. Right, he must have already taken the hit. Stop moving! Very unsporting. Yeah, exactly. Not even run to walk towards the enemy. You know, if they run, they might get tired. Can't have that. But I have them all dressed in bright red and a nice, walking at a nice sedate pace. Just about to wing that guy. Right, I definitely already shot him.
Search the bodies. Strip everything we can from them.
You recognize any of them, Dutch?
Of course his men. All he cares about is numbers. If you can shoot a gun, ride a horse, and
I think they made it a bit less. I seem to remember when it first came out, there was a much longer looting animation. Now you just kind of kneel next to them and it seems to do the trick. Horse stimulants! Well, you know, I do enjoy stimulating horses in my spare time, it's true. This might be easier first person. I'm going to search around. Oh!
heads up, boys! We got more coming in from the forest.
Down? Yes. Oh, there's a guy right there that apparently was missing me the entire time. Oh, Deadeye! I completely missed that as well.
Reckon we're better holding here.
They're hiding in the trees.
Where are you? Whoop. This is possibly not the best cover. Let's get back to this crate or whatever it is. Yeah, I suspect they're going easy on you because, you know, it's the big first shootout of the game. So they're not going to make them all laser accurate. Use a tonic. I don't think I've even used Deadeye. How do I use Deadeye? I seem to have managed it all without.
Back to the camp. We'll get what we need. Clear out.
Right. I don't know if they'll have cash or if it's just going to be like ammo. And many bottles of horse medicine. I do like that it marks off for you on the minimap, so you can tell exactly which ones you've looted and which ones you haven't. Man, my horse is going to be so stimulated. Yes, I guess you do find a bit of cash, so it is worth looting these. Was there another one on top of this guy, or is this just one body here? Oh, yeah, there is one here. Yeah, I seem to remember the looting animation being much longer, and clearly people were just not happy about that. Ooh, $1.32. Big spender. I don't think you can ever loot weapons, though. It does just seem to be ammunition. Like this, I can't pick this gun up. That seems to not be a thing. But even this is definitely more involved than... And again, I'll mention The Witcher 3, where you just press a button and take all the stuff that was on a corpse. But yeah, I mean, you can pick up... I've discovered it online, you can pick up other people's hats. But not other people's guns, apparently. Which is just a little disappointing. Right, there's a dude here. Anything to loot? Lovely, tasty looking rotten apple core. Is that a lootable thing? That's a lootable thing. Yeah, we don't need to look at it. We just need to grab it and shove it in our pocket. I mean, I was kind of already aware from people's reviews of the game, and we looked at it already. Various bits of, you know, critical whatever that, yeah, some people particularly did not enjoy the fact that it does take a while to do stuff like this, and the skinning of animals, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's cool seeing the animation the first time, but after the 50th or 100th time, it's like, can I just do the thing quicker, please? This game is supposed to be, I think it's 1898. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 1898. But I could be wrong. But it's the 1890s anyway. I'm not sure why it won't let me search that one. Doesn't have anything to grab, I guess. And everyone else is just patiently standing over there waiting for me to, you know, stop feeling up dead bodies. Ew. Well, you know, bullet to the face will do that. Probably not as actually gory as that wound would have been in real life. Is there anything in here? Probably not. That looks completely collapsed. But you never know. What even is that supposed to be? I don't know. A pair of weird tubular things. Oh, I guess there's nothing up here. Yeah, I don't know. They don't. I mean, it's almost a bit weird there being any kind of looting in this game from like random pickup stuff, because that isn't really a thing in other Rockstar games so much. And it's not a frequent feature. They haven't, apart from bodies, that seems to be the main source of loot. It's not like there's millions of containers you can find and open like Bethesda games. Right, oh. Couple of corpses in here. And again, weird tessellation errors. Somebody can look it up, but I think it's 1898. I could be completely talking nonsense there, of course. Which would be unusual for me, obviously.
Good work, boys. Now, let's tear this place apart.
I don't take the... Why is this grayed out? Oh. Oh, it just won't let me take any more of it, that's why. Ooh.
This looks good.
Boomsticks!
What do you think, Bill?
Yay!
Looks fine. Smells good.
Come on. Did we get everything?
Think so, boss? Found this on one of them.
Thank you.
This is perfect.
Oh, yeah? Interesting. This is something about the train they was gonna rob. Of Mr. Leviticus Cornwall. Mount back up. Let's keep moving.
Well, I think I missed a tin of beans or something, but, you know, we got all the booze that we could carry, so that's the important thing, obviously. Oh. Horse! Horse! Right.
They can pummel us hard as they like, but we will always get back up and fight. That's who we are.
It's going to take a while to figure out how this follow system works exactly, but at least it's sort of working.
Charles and Sean back riding with us, and I believe, I know.
When you look at the map, there's actually not that much that's covered by the railway network. It's only really the eastern part. horse. This isn't Skyrim. You can't climb a mountain, horse. So yeah, you can't ride around the entire map, sadly, but you can still cover a reasonable amount. But if you want to get all the way over to the west part of the map, you've got to ride a horse, basically. Or you can use the fast travel system, which I guess is stagecoaches. Evil Tim! Thank you very much for the 25-month sub. How are you this evening?
All right, dig in, fellas. Let's make some ground. Hey, you see that fella? Wasn't he at the camp, Colm?
Leave him to me.
Well, talking of westerns, earlier in the year I watched I can't remember what it's called now, but the most recent Coen Brothers film. Oh, Chase Down and Lasso the... okay. But yeah, that one had the... that's where those screenshots of... I think people used it as a meme in various, you know, but the guy getting hanged and he's turning to the other guy and asking, "Oh, first time?" I don't think I was supposed to go in the water here. But yeah, that was a fun film. I don't know why I just suddenly thought of that. I think because one or two of the stories heavily feature stagecoaches. Oh, and I saw The Hateful Eight earlier this year for the first time as well, which was a rare thing for me, in that it's a Tarantino film I was actually able to sit down and watch all the way through. Which normally I can't. I mean, there's been some that I will happily, like Pulp Fiction. Right. Press F to hog tie.
Come in with me.
Please, please, you don't need to do this.
Oh, we can loot him apparently.
Please don't.
This is very kind of you.
Just let me go. Come on.
Hogtied, yeah, I know this already because one of the random missions you can do in online that sometimes you can tell if they're going to have a good or bad effect on your reputation, and other times it's like you walk in, especially when you walk into a building, it just automatically triggers you accepting the mission. And I did with one of those, and it turned out it was like, oh, go kidnap a dude off a stagecoach. So I did, and it involved shooting a bunch of police and some innocent, you know, stagecoach guards and whatever. So I felt a bit bad about that, but you know, money's money. There was also one of the earlier missions where it was like go and rescue a mail coach off some bandits, and I accidentally just shot a random passerby in the head. And the game was like, whoops, you seem to have murdered a guy.
I'm begging you.
I wasn't trying to be a baddie, it just kind of happened.
Shut your mouth, you little shit, or I will shut it for you.
Right, I think this is my horse's stamina is getting a bit, you know, but we are trudging through the deep snow.
I don't want to die, mister. Please, I'll do anything. Have a heart.
I think those gaps in there, I don't think those are even supposed to be tracks. I think it's just tessellation errors.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay?
Not one more goddamn.
Oh, did he say artillery, Evil Tim? I didn't hear.
Okay. Okay.
That's 2 bones right there.
It was very naughty if he did say artillery. Yes, I know, horse. It's cold, and you haven't got your horse mittens on. Are horse mittens a thing? Horse mittens are a thing, surely. There must be a thing. I was probably too busy blabbering. Evil Tim. I completely forgot to, like when I did my AMX video, I completely forgot to go and turn that on. Actually, can we... Oh, we're on a... I can do that, can't I? I can just cinematic camera. Because we have a route marker. Which is a lot less hassle. Man, that snow looks... Yeah. That can't be intentional. We don't seem to have actually tied this guy onto the horse. I'm not entirely sure how he's staying on the back and he's not just getting thrown off with the horse's ass going up and down and up and down. It's video game magic. Don't question it. Just like how the horse can magically untie itself from hitching posts when you whistle. Right. Let's try not to miss the hitching post this time.
Let's introduce you to the boys.
Yeah, he's not being very nice about to this fella, but anyway. Right.
Don't hurt me, please. Oh, don't worry. They're real nice.
Oh, that was real nice of you, Evil Tim. Thank you very much for that gift sub for Foo.
Huh. You found a little shit, did you?
Yep. I got him.
Very good. Welcome to your new home. Hope you're real happy here.
Now are we going to do some cannibalism? I'm so disappointed in the lack of cannibalism in this game.
Get his lies. Uncle, Mr. Williamson, tie this maggot up someplace safe. We get him hungry first. I got a saying, my friend. We shoot fellas as need shooting. Save fellas as need saving.
And eat people as are, you know, look tasty. I was almost right. I was almost right. Almost.
I can't believe it.
I was about 90% of the way there with how he was going to finish that.
I hate that fella.
Oh, whatever you say, son. Well done, Arthur.
I'm just sorry we missed out on Cole.
Oh, there's time enough for that. Now, I gotta figure out if we can hit that train.
Okay. Been a bad few weeks, but Dutch being Dutch, he is busy making plans, and Dutch being Dutch, those plans involve robbery and dreams. Well, I thought you was reading him his last rites. Now I see you're introducing him to your other passion.
I'll mind you to show me some respect, Mr. Morgan.
Mind away, Reverend. You still here then?
I owe you.
Yeah. And you'll pay me. But for the moment, just rest.
Arthur. I think it's time for the train.
You want me to come?
Of course I do, but look at it.
Oh yeah, I saw there'd been a small patch. I don't know if it was anything major for Ultimate Dreadnoughts, but it's only about 16 megabytes or something. No, I haven't fired it up though. It has patched, but I haven't actually played it.
What's left of me? What about you?
Guess I was hoping to see a corpse.
Bide your time.
However, there have been some major updates to Surviving the Aftermath, so I'll probably do a video on that fairly soon.
You all know it. Now, railway men. Bill, now you ride ahead and set the charge at the water tower just before the tunnel.
Ain't a problem. Why are we doing this? Weather's breaking. We could leave. I thought we was lying low.
Yeah, come on. What do you want from me, Hosea?
I just don't want any more folks to die, Dutch.
We're living, Hosea. We're living. Look at me. We're living. Even you. But we need money. Everything we has in Blackwater. You fancy heading back there?
No. Listen, Dutch, I ain't trying to undermine you. I just want to stick to the plan, which was to lie low, then head back out west. Now, suddenly we're about to rob a train.
What choice have we got?
Leviticus Cornwall's no joke, Dutch.
Who is Leviticus Cornwall?
He's a big railway magnate.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like I'm going to give up doing warship streams, but
Dutch.
I don't have any immediate plans for any.
To make something of ourselves. Get your horses ready. We have a train to run.
We might make an attempt to do more streaming over January, and I don't know how many hours roughly does it take to complete the campaign of this. I might just stream the rest of this. Right, now seems like a good time for me to go to the bathroom before we start robbing trains, so I'll be right back. Right, in the words of Jane Cobb, excuse me eating a cracker, let's go be bad guys.
The train will be coming north from Big Valley. We're going to pick it off after it crosses the border into the Grizzlies. There's a raised spot there that should give us good vantage. Charles, you'll keep lookout for any outriders. How's that hand, by the way?
I'll be fine.
Good. I'll take the driver and engineer, then run point. Lenny, Javier, you two take the front cars and deal with any guards. Arthur and Micah, you head straight for the back. That's what we're after. Mr. Cornwall's private car.
You and me, Morgan.
Great.
Have you got a problem with that?
Not if you keep your head for once.
You worry about yourself, huh?
Enough! have to build what
Gosh, we're all just one big happy family in this gang, aren't we?
is everyone clear on what they're doing?
Yep, Crystal.
Yes, boss.
Good. Now come on. Let's ride.
They had cavalry to wield the tanks. Exactly, yes. Hey, Brett.
Out of the snow, finally.
Feels good, doesn't it? But we need to get this done fast. Now it's thawing before anyone gets up here after us. Oh, look at you boys. See? This is what I call a crew. Micah Bell, Charles Smith, Arthur Morgan, Javier Escuela, and what about young Lenny here? Always the first.
Yeah, that's a tree game. This is not me steering right now. This is this is the game doing this.
Sure you're ready for this, kid.
Of course I'm ready.
Just stay calm. Keep your eyes sharp.
I don't think there's any game that's ever managed to quite get horse riding quite right.
We do this.
Like The Witcher 3
Blackwater.
and Roach, that was famously quite buggy, and then they sort of made fun of it themselves with one particularly
That's a lot of damn money to
silly mission where your horse,
It would be
you know, you actually be able to start being able to talk to Roach.
We go back.
And there's a couple of very funny lines of dialogue.
And that's the end of it. Money's safe. You'll just have to trust me. And if the O'Driscolls
Brett
arrive,
with the 12-month resub, thank you very much.
this train, good money once we work out how to cash them out. Now everyone, shut up and get your mind on the job at hand. Come on. Water tower.
Horse! 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 What are you doing, horse? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we basically came to the point where we're doing that. Yeah, we have. Right, this I recognise.
Easy. Is Bill there?
Yeah,
You want to head down, see how he's getting on?
okay.
I know Jingles has done a whole series of videos on RDR2 as well, but like I said earlier at the start, I just... As much as I've wanted to watch Jingles wax lyrical, I'm sure he's enjoyed the game a lot. I wanted to play it without really being spoiled too much. Right.
How you getting on?
I'm okay.
You sure?
Of course.
Can I help a little?
All right. Go ahead and set up the detonator by those rocks over there.
Okay, sure.
Now just unspool the wire and then attach it
Oh,
to said
right.
detonator.
Well, Roach definitely had a mind of its own.
Okay, this is good.
All right. That should do it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. What if I accidentally, you know, slipped while he was standing over there and knocked the handle? Just wonder if that was the train I can hear. Oh, do I have to go back up? I guess I do.
Need you distracting me here, Morgan.
I have not watched it yet. I actually only just finished watching Steins Gate Zero. I finally got to the end of that, and it's definitely not as good as the original Steins Gate, but it was decent. I'm trying to think what else I'm watching at the moment.
Remember the plan.
Or The Mandalorian. I've been a pirate of the internet because, you know, Disney doesn't want my money legitimately. I'm sure I'll buy it on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever when that's available.
What's going on? He says all fine.
We'll soon find out.
I don't know what else I've... but yeah, I'll definitely watch it, but I don't know what else I've been watching that's notable, really. A lot of the time when I'm watching something while I'm having something to eat, it's press X to... Wait, what does it want me to do?
That includes you, Arthur?
Right, I missed what he wants me to do. Switch to the item wheel. Oh, right, it was actually telling me. Put a mask on. Okay. That's what happens when you sit there blathering away, not paying attention to what they're saying in the game. Yeah, it was a really self-defeating move on Disney's part.
Good luck, all of you. You all know what
Remarkably unaware.
Here we go.
And of course, it all goes according to plan.
Shit, no, what? God! Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Where did you find that moron?
You said it was fine.
My fault. Come on! You're pathetic. You know that?
So now we have to jump on a train, which is not at all a trope of many Western films of yore. Whee! Hey, Nikos!
I'm slipping!
Grab Lenny. Do I have to? Okay.
I got you. Now stop yelling.
Oh, I have to click. It's not always clear when it's like you want me to hold. Do you want me to rapid press? Game doesn't always communicate that, perhaps as well as it could.
Come on, we need to stop this train.
There's another guard up ahead. You want me to take him? Arthur, who's going?
Yes, you go.
Okay.
Well, you seem to be having fun with the stabby stabby. Right, it wants me to. It's suggesting I. Oh gosh, we've got all these. I guess that one. Let's have one of those. I still haven't quite got my head around all of the different, you know. There's so many consumable items. Right, oh no, we don't want to be in cover anymore. Okay, well that was... Okay, I think it's the first time I've probably tried to use Deadeye, so I didn't... That was a total waste of it, I guess.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
I shot that one guy so many times. Yeah, I think that was an overkill. I think you might be right. Yeah, just, you know, it's interrupting my valuable looting time here. Don't hassle me. Look, that guy had a whole 56 cents on him, which is actually more than you would think. What with inflation and everything. Right. Oh, I have to get my gun out of here.
How you doing there?
I'm okay. We gotta hurry. We have to stop.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, kid.
Get him off me!
Wait, how do we do this? Do I just click? Ah, okay, yes. Literally just click. So you draw the mouse over where you want to, okay, and then you click to, like, make it happen. We were on a bridge, but I think we're just kind of, you know, for story purposes, that would be a bit weird if we were still parked on a bridge.
All these bastards must be guarding something.
So I'm going to pre-script it to be here.
We need to find the back, right?
Yep, keep pushing on. Still okay?
I think so.
Good.
Who is this guy?
Doing good, kid.
Well, they did say he was an uber wealthy dude that, like, owns a railroad and other businesses, so it's not surprising you would have a fair few guards.
They're coming out of that last car.
We're gonna get out of this.
Seemed kind of surprised. Whoa! Oh, yeah, taking a few hits, No, I died. Or did he die? Or did I die? Or did everyone die? Everyone died. Oh, Lenny died, okay. Hooray, it wasn't me!
Shit, more guards coming out of that train car.
I didn't realise it was going to be one of those, you know, keep your companion alive as well as not die yourself.
All these bastards must be guarding something.
Oh. That time it takes to cock the gun just catches me every time. I'll get used to it. Ooh. The guy's still there. Yes.
Still okay?
I think so.
Good.
Damn, he's got an arm. Who is this guy?
Doing good, kid.
Well, let's stay down low this time, but not just loot bodies quite just yet. You do seem to pick up ammo just by running over them.
We're gonna get out of this.
Oh, get to cover. Oops. Drink a bottle of magic juice that can cure bullet wounds.
Now, why the O'Driscolls brought so many boys up here for this?
I mean, I could get over there, or I could loot literally all the bodies. Well, maybe not all the bodies. Some of the bodies. Hey, Ginge. Mostly I want cash. I think we're doing alright for ammo. Although, these guys might not have a lot of... Oh, well, that'll be worth something. I know there's certain things you can pick up that are just purely for the purpose of selling to fences.
What are you doing? Get over.
I could, or I could just totally ignore you. And loot literally all the things. But even my horse is telling me off now. So how are you this fine evening, Ginge? Have you survived the holiday season? With sanity more or less intact? Do. Ooh, a harp. Can we play the harp? I don't think we can play the harp, but there is some snake oil. That's an actual proper full-size concert harp, that is. Ah. No, can't play the piano either. Potent bitters. And also a teapot that doesn't seem to be quite rendering in properly.
You two all right?
Yes, let's get the money and go.
We got some fellas holed up in this last car.
Ah, shit.
What are you boys planning on doing in there? Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of them.
First time cooking for 12. May have overestimated the amounts, but it was all hot and cooked, so I'll win, you reckon? Yeah, well, as long as nobody expires from food poisoning, I think you can call that a victory. Drive the train and fence it.
You asked for it. 5, 4,
Quite like that suggestion.
2, 1. Seems our friends have gone deaf. Wake them up a little.
Yeah, let's just fire at the armoured train. That will definitely do something and not just waste ammo.
Mr. Williamson, give Mr. Morgan and Mr. Smith some dynamite. You two boys go blow that door open. Now, don't matter too much to us, but you boys in there might want to take a step back.
Seems good enough. Now light the
Here we go.
fuse.
Unless you got a death wish, I'd step back, fellers.
Well, I think that's going to go boom.
All right, come on. There's one on out here. We don't want to kill you. We just want to rob your boss. Get on up there. Search that train.
Loot all the bodies. This might be slightly compulsive at this point, to be honest. I don't think any of these actually had any cash on them, but you know. Ammo's. Oh, there we go. Nearly a whole $1. Oh, and there's two fellas right there. God, you're also bossy. I mean, I know he is literally the boss, but still.
Look at this place. It's like a palace.
Now I've seen everything.
Oh, you two got the safe? I'll search the rest.
Oh, yes. Should be easy as cake.
This seems to be literally more well armoured than the
Some brandy, will ya?
presidential rail car that was in use up till, when was it, like the
Yeah, kid
50s?
did good. Didn't see you
60s?
rushing to jump on that train.
He's keen. I'll give you that. Okay.
The fact it makes you hold a key rather than just press a key to pick stuff up is slightly obnoxious. Not gonna lie.
No, this looks like something.
Right, it does, but I want to loot the rest of the things first. That's obviously the thing with the...
Shit. Just a pile of papers.
Bonds?
I don't think so. Here.
I can't carry any more cigars. Disaster.
Give me those.
Any books? Any good books?
Contracts, invoices, blah, blah, blah. You got anything?
Not really. Sugar imports from the Spanish West
Hey,
Indies.
Wombat!
A lot of sugar. Some fancy Nepalese ordered
What
from
is
Europe.
that? Premium cigarettes.
I am not robbing another boat as long
Well,
as
that can't be unhealthy for you then if they're premium cigarettes.
Have
And...
you checked all the drawers
little
and
stack.
cabinets?
Ka-ching! Nice. $25. Do you know really just go ka-ching? I did. And it's now recorded for all eternity. Wait, where's the brandy? Oh, there's the brandy.
Arthur, have you looked down the end there?
I could probably do with taking something for my health, actually. Salted offal.
Keep looking. There must
Who
be
doesn't
something.
love a jar of salted offal? And so you and the horse can both eat the oatcakes. They're literally, you know, horse food. Yeah, 1898, there we go. The Leland Oil Company. Okay, they'll come up again at some point, presumably. Although, the fact he's not actually in here, and yet that, that letter was just sat lying there seems a little bit weird, but, you know, clearly it's a plot thing. Oh, and there's one here as well. The fact he would just leave important letters lying around the place. Okay, and this seems to be from some kind of coal mining outfit. Right, so let's grab this lockbox, which wasn't actually locked at all. And that would appear to be what we're after.
I think I got him.
Nice. Thank God. Come on.
It's remarkably untidy, just leaving all these letters lying around.
What did you find?
These bonds. They worth anything?
Oh, sure. Bearer bonds. I think we could probably sell these pretty easily. Well done. Now, would you get rid of all of this?
Train?
Yeah, get it out of here.
About damn.
Oh, we do in fact get to play with the choo-choo train.
It's up to you. Kill them, leave them here, take them with you on the train. Just make sure they don't send no folk after us.
Okay.
See you back at camp. When you get back, we'll be moving on. The rest of you, let's ride.
Right,
Okay. Get on the train. Quick. All of you. Any bright ideas, I kill all three of you. So behave. Come on. Move.
We won't tell a soul, I swear.
go on.
Move on.
On the train.
If I hear so much as a footstep from this car, you'll end up like all your friends out here.
It's a good thing I looted all those corpses because I think they've pretty much disappeared. Oh, there might be one up here. Yeah! Haven't looted quite all the corpses yet. I can stop any time I want, honest. It's definitely not a problem. God, there's all this beer. Can't we take the beer with us? Right, I of course would naturally know exactly how a train works. Oh, that seems totally safe. We just start the train, let it go. Yeah, that's definitely not going to go plummeting off a bridge or anything.
So, we getting out of this hellhole?
We're gonna try. Weather seems stable.
And we just robbed the Leviticus Cornwall train.
We got money in our pockets. The worst is behind us, gentlemen. So the question is, where now?
I know this country a little. I told you, we should set up camp in Horseshoe Overlook near Valentine. We'll be able to hide out there, no problem, as long as we keep our noses clean.
Well, then let's go. Clean noses and everything else. Arthur, you're in that one. Bring Hosea. I know you two like to talk about the good old days and what's gone wrong with old Dutch.
I think this is about as far as I've seen. I thought it was only like the first hour or so that I'd watched of Zircon's, you know, but clearly it was a bit longer than that because we're at now about 2.5 hours. Sell it to Doc Brown. True.
Lenny! Micah, get over here!
Yes, boss.
You two ride up ahead, make sure there's no surprises. We've had enough of those.
Me with the boy?
Just go.
Come on, kid. You can buy me a whiskey.
I'm not entirely sure where we've acquired all these wagons from. We didn't have these before. Clearly we just, you know, had some wagons in our pockets.
Gotta keep us moving, but
Shit.
okay.
Well, that seems like it totally should have happened.
Does everything look all right?
Well, what's going on?
Ah, I broke the goddamn wheel.
All right, let's get it fixed.
You need help?
I reckon we can handle it. All right, Charles, you and me hold the thing.
Right, so now I have to press some... Does this ever actually happen, like, in the game, or is it literally just this one scripted event?
Say less. Pick the wheel up.
Or is it totally important knowledge that I know how to put a wheel back on?
See? You ain't so useless after all.
Okay, right.
Not quite.
What do you think?
If they wanted trouble, we wouldn't have seen them.
Poor bastards. We really screwed them over down here. Come on, let's not push our luck.
What happened?
Hey, Yision.
Get in.
Yeah, my streams are always unexpected.
Not too far now. Stay on this trail. We'll follow the river, then cut left inland.
Oh, that's handy to know. Left alt.
Yes. The Indians in these parts got sold a very raw deal. This is the heartlands we're going to. Good farming and grazing country. They lost it all.
Do I...
Told them clean away
Oh,
from
so
there,
holding it down and
grass.
pressing it is different than...
Killed
Okay.
or herded up
But it
their
doesn't stay large
reservations in
for
the
some
middle of
reason.
nowhere.
How's that different from anywhere else?
Well, maybe it's not. I just heard some of the army out here was particularly unpleasant about it.
Unpleasant? How do you rob and kill people pleasantly? We don't, in spite of Dutch's talk.
I fear I was perhaps trying to simplify something more complicated for the benefit of our block-headed driver here.
Hey, don't blame it on me. Never forget, this here's a con man, Charles, born and bred. Just 'cause it sounds fancy don't mean he knows a damn thing about what he's talking about. So, what happened to your tribe?
I don't even know if I have one. At least, not that I can remember. My father was a colored man. He told me he lived with our people for a while. A number of free men did, but when we were forced to move from our lands, the three of us fled. I was too young to really remember much. My whole life I've been on the run.
Ha! Apparently I'm too hot.
A couple years later, some soldiers captured my mother. Took her somewhere. We never saw her again. We drifted around. He was a very sad man, and the drink.
No, I've played a very little bit of Red Dead 1, but
I just took off on my own.
yeah, I've never played more than like the very start of it, basically.
A wilder delinquent you never did see, but he learned fast.
Not as fast as Marston, apparently.
Wait, I don't understand. What's the problem between you two?
Arthur?
It's a long story. We still heading the right way?
That depends. Are we still heading west in search of fortune and repose in virgin forests as we planned? No. Are we heading in the correct direction on our desperate escape from the law eastwards down the mountains? Yes, I believe so.
You know this area?
A little. I've been through a couple of times. There's a livestock town not too far from here called Valentine. Cowboys, outlaws, working girls, our kind of place.
Driscoll's?
Probably them too.
Pinkertons?
Let's hope not.
And this place we're going. Wait, what's it called again?
He literally has said it like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to say Valentine again.
And how low do you think Dutch is really?
Damn you for interrupting my sarcasm!
It's just, you know, maybe it's me who's changed, not him, but we kept telling him that ferry job didn't feel right. You and me had a real lead in Blackwater that could have worked out.
Maybe.
It just isn't like Dutch to lose his head like that.
Things go wrong sometimes. People die. It's the way it is. Always has been. Me, you, Dutch. We've all been in this line of work a long time. And we're still here, so I figure we must have got it right a hell of a lot more than we got it wrong.
Wait, I wonder if I can... It didn't even occur to me. I keep forgetting I can do that.
What are you working on there, anyway?
Just some yarrow and ginseng. Good for the health. Better than that stuff you buy in the store. Yeah, you can have all this. I'm at the point where I can do it with my eyes closed.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Whoa, back.
Actually, one of the more interesting articles I read about this was to do with the birds in the game. Just, I think, you know, the compendium things pop up in the corner there. That there's a lot of species represented in the game that are now actually extinct. Things like passenger pigeons, for example. And then the article went on to note that you can, of course, just go around and shoot all these things. Which is fairly representative of you know, largely how they died out in real life, of course.
Home sweet home.
Right, am I parking in completely the wrong spot? Yes, but this will do. It's fine.
You weren't wrong, Hosea. This place is perfect.
I hope so.
Gentlemen, we have survived.
For now.
Now, it is time to prosper.
Arthur and I were about to prosper in Blackwater. We were onto something big. Then Micah got you all excited about that ferry, and here we are.
We have all made mistakes over the years, Hosea. every last one of us. But I kept us together, kept us alive, kept the nooses off our neck.
I guess I'm just worried. I ain't got that long, Dutch. I want folks safe before I go.
Me too.
And now we are stuck east of the Grizzlies and out of money, and a long way from a dream of virgin land in the west.
I know, my brother, but we are safe. We make a bit of money here, then we move again, head out around them, be west of Uncle Sam, in a few months, buy some land.
I hope so.
Would you just look around you? This world has its consolations.
Gentlemen, I'm going to head into the local town and, you know, see if I can strike up a little business.
Of course.
I said earlier on, you see on that, I've spent at least an hour in Red Dead Online just wandering around taking pictures with the little box brownie camera that you get. I know there's a photo mode as well, but for, you know, when you're playing the game and stuff's happening, but mostly I've just been taking in-game photographs.
Get to work, but stay out of trouble. Remember, we are itinerant workers.
Laid off when they shut down our factory to the north. Now get out there and see what you can find. Uncle, Reverend Swanson, no more passengers. It is time for everyone to earn their keep.
There is a town a little way down the track named Valentine. Livestock town, all mud and morons, if I remember right. That seems a decent place to start.
And, we need food. Real food. That means every day. One of you.
And remember, whatever it is that you find, the camp gets its slice. Now be sensible out there.
The girls have your tent ready, Mr. Morgan. Come with me. You two will be ready shortly. We put you over here.
I'm sure everything will be fine, Miss Grimshaw.
It should be. Most of your stuff from Blackwater got saved.
Everything apart from my money.
Oh, don't remind me.
Well, we can always make more money.
We're gonna have to. Miss Jackson, I've seen shit with more common sense than you.
I like her.
Got off the mountain, rode east into some pretty enough country called the Heartlands. Ain't been this far east in many a year. Dutch seems a little better. His eyes are sparkling once more, and I can see he's thinking a little clearer. I think we all feel a little happier, in spite of Blackwater and that whole mess.
Arthur?
Jose?
Quite a day.
Let's hope so.
There's a bunch of the boys already in Valentine. Bill, Charles, and Javier. And Swanson found something down at the train station by the lake, apparently. And Strauss came back with that creepy little smile on his face. I'm sure there's a whole list of unfortunates he's forced money upon.
Thank you. And you?
I'm gonna read a book.
Right, let's... oh, there we go, we have control. Let's see what options we've got. And do I actually get the camera? Yes. So I now have access to the camera as well. So yeah, I just spent ages wandering around with this, because the lighting in this game is really very nice. Especially when the graphics options are turned up a bit.
Nothing at all. For the first time in weeks, nothing. We're free. We're free to plan our own futures once more.
I hope so, Dutch.
You kept the faith, Arthur. You always kept it.
And I ain't losing it now.
Right. Yes, let's see what we can do. Oh, that's actually quite a few pre-built ones. In online, naturally, they make you, you know, buy everything. Quite like that one. Let's have that. Coats. Oh, 2-1 for hot weather. Okay. Oh, I see. So I guess let's go with the no coat. So your clothing actually makes a difference on oh, that looks nice. Well, let's go with the super fancy. Although we don't seem to have any particularly fancy trousers available, so jeans will do. Jeans are good for any occasion. Oh, shirts we looked at already. Suspenders. I don't think we really have any options there. We'll probably get some colour options later. This is a decent number of options to start with. Yeah, the story mode Fu is basically like it's the, you know, the story of this guy. So it's very, you know, it's all like scripted. There's no choice about it. But in online, you can make your own character. Online's been all right. You see, it's been I've been killed a couple of times by other players, and bumbled a few times along the way. But it's actually more enjoyable than GTA Online, I think. Although there's less to do at the moment. But there's no bonkers, you know, no one's going to turn up in a actually let's go with no. Yeah, no one's going to turn up in a tank or a flying motorcycle and ruin your day. Gunbouts, good grief, you can bandoliers. Sure, let's have a bandolier. Well, satchels. And talisman. Ah, that's useful. Okay, so they actually give you a bonus in talismans. I wonder if I can I save this as an outfit? The way it works with scrolling is a bit weird, to be honest, as I'm sure you've noticed. Now I want to go right. Don't scroll too far. Custom outfits. Save outfit. Yes, I suspected there would probably be a option for that, so that's fine. And we've got some other option there as well. Is that like a gun locker or something? So what's the... I hadn't heard about this. Wargaming contributor's been accused of... oh, I missed Corpin going on, did I? I think... yeah. Pistol cartridges. Oh, is that just some ammo you can pick up every so often? Yeah, that's kind of blanked out there. No, Clyde's still a CC. I honestly hadn't heard anything about... Really? Seriously, Clyde? It's just the default weapons, but I'm not actually carrying any weapons at the moment. Why is there a little exclamation mark? I don't know. I'm carrying ammo. Is it that crate there? Is that tools? Is it purely the back of the... Maybe this is a thing it just hasn't introduced to me yet, like weapon maintenance, or I don't even know. Let's have a look-see around the camp. There's the donation box. Give item, give money. How much money have I got? I think the 54 is what I've got. The 21 must be what's in the camp fund. I think it's probably easier if I just sell stuff and then put some cash in later. I suspect we'll need money for buying stuff in town anyway. So this is the provisions guy.
Arthur, don't forget, I'm more than happy to craft you something if you bring me the right materials.
Ah, he can craft for you. Okay. Well, obviously it's terribly important that you have a skull mounted on and antler horns. Okay, that's all purely kind of cosmetic stuff. Right, this appears to be a healing station. Also, apparently I can look at a photo. I can't read that. Oh, hang on. Let's see if we can read it. Now we're in first person. Susan something? I've got no idea. So presumably I can plop down any hunted things on that table. There's the pot of stew.
How long till we eat, Pearson?
All in good time.
Oh, I guess he's armed, but I just can't access my weapons at the moment. And I just casually flung that on the floor. Oh, okay. There's an eating game. I need to eat the stew. And then just casually fling the bowl on the floor. Wow, Arthur, you are very messy. Right, so we have a couple of markers. One of which is right here. Uncle. And then I guess the other two are what Hosea mentioned, so they're both in town. Swanson and other side's the train station. Oh, that's the station. Sorry, that's... Okay. Let's go and speak to Uncle. Yeah, I can't access my weapon wheel at the moment. It's just the items wheel.
Hey! Careful not to work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Oh, eventually.
So, while the rest of us are busy stealing,
I really like that waistcoat.
fighting to try to survive, you get to think all day.
Yeah, it's a strange world we live in, Arthur Morgan.
As far as I know, I'll still have what I had before, so it'll be the 6-shooter, the repeating rifle, and the bow and arrow. Yeah, I'll be still going. Probably not for... I don't know, maybe another hour.
Take us too?
Well, what you got planned?
Nothing. We'll find something for y'all to do. We always do.
We're bored out of our minds. Been cooped up here for 2 weeks now. Karen's about ready to murder Grimshaw.
Can Miss Grimshaw spare you?
Can Miss Grimshaw spare you? What's happened to you, Arthur? 3 young, healthy women want you to take them a robbing. You're worried about house chores.
Let's go.
Fair enough. You got me. Come on then.
I can't believe we're going to see civilization. Feels like weeks since we did.
Yeah, Valentine. Very embodiment of civilization. Ladies are gonna love it. Okay then, let's go.
All right. Out to the
I
tree.
don't know if it's actual weapons they use in this, like they have named actual weapons, or if it's just kind of generic 6-shooter, generic carbine. Oh god, Smolensk or Thunderer. I mean, do you like laughing maniacally as people burn to death? Or do you like a fairly sensible battleship that just does battleship things?
Ladies, sing us a song.
Well, this song is completely family friendly. Oh, hello.
Look at that coach. He's all over the place.
This seems like a thing.
Is one of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Oh, I got lumbago. It's very serious.
Well, I guess we'll help him. I'm assuming this is something you can just like drive past if you don't bother, if you're not bothered. But
You all right there, friend?
Oh, hey, you couldn't help me get my other horse back. from
yeah,
over
yeah,
there,
yeah,
could you?
sure. You want me to help get it back with my gun, right? Right, this is gonna be. Is this lasso or just study the horse? I can just magically know about this horse
Easy there, easy.
with my magic mind horse knowing powers.
There's a girl.
See you, Brett. Thanks for joining us.
Come on now.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, even if you completely ignore the online, you know.
Here.
I mean, bear in mind I've not played that far yet. This is literally the opening 3 hours of the game so far, but
Not really. I was just trying to impress the women.
Well, anyway, thank you.
so presumably, there's like I could just like shoot him, be a dick, steal his carriage as an option. I don't know.
Come on, let's go.
To Valentine!
You're turning
I figured out a little bit about how the wanted system in this game works by this point.
That means you got a heart. A small one, perhaps, hidden deep inside, but a real one. And you haven't, you repulsive old lizard.
Lizards have hearts.
Well, Arthur, I'm proud of you.
To be honest, if you lot hadn't been here, I probably would have robbed him.
Well, you did.
Or is that Uncle?
Oh, very funny.
This looks like a decent little town.
Other people, finally.
Look at all that snow on the mountains. Sure don't want to be back up there.
You think we should have asked Molly to come?
Those are very nice looking mountains, I have to say.
Miss O'Shea is far too high and mighty now for the likes of us, or to do any real work. She's a society lady now. Okay, take a good look around, ladies. See what we got here.
Go left here, down the main street. Bear's always on the right. Sure you can pick up some bounties there, Arthur.
Heaven forbid you put your head on the line.
Yeah, that's a young man's game.
Ooh, yes. We can get up to some mischief here, all right.
Just remember, keep a low profile.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out.
Probably not.
Let's park up down the end there, near the stables.
Oh, oops.
You're gonna bust this wagon to bits.
I may have just run over a dude. Sorry.
Cultural center of civilization.
Sorry, my guy.
Uncle.
I'll just take this saddle, shall I? Oh. Apparently I can't.
With pleasure. We started the salute.
Okay, just stay out of trouble. Don't get yourselves noticed.
Right, I need to get something from the stores.
Okay, well, we'll see you at the general store when you're done.
Come on, ladies.
Well, I only appear to have my revolver at the moment.
So that's how you see yourself, is it? A maniac?
Well, in my youth, I used to be known as the one-shot kid.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask why.
You are a sad man, Arthur Morgan. But I know you love me.
Desperately. You're my favorite parasite. No. Ringworm's my favorite parasite. You're my second favorite parasite.
He's a little bit snarky, this Arthur Morgan.
Ringworm, then rats with the plague, then you.
Shut up. This is the place now. Come on. Morning.
So.
Ooh, sweeties.
Hell, a drop of whiskey for a start. You know, something to pass the time while we're waiting on the women.
Always thinking ahead, ain't you?
Oh, you can actually buy stuff from the...
Why don't you pick up some coffee while we're here?
Let me know if you have any questions, fellers. Whiskey's on the top shelf, nearest the door.
Right, is this an actual functional watch, or is this something you can just sell?
You not getting anything?
Blocker lotion? What the?
I don't know.
Gun oil?
Maybe.
Oh, scent blocker. Oh, I see. Right, and then there's also the catalogue.
So, you're actually buying for once? Are you feeling alright?
See this? Young folk got no respect for their elders no more.
Right, we can sell those bits we picked up.
Well, this here's a sheep town. The lamb's the best in the state.
I don't know what the smell is.
Oh, I guess he won't take these things. Provide provisions and things, but...
Well, look at this.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to sell any of that.
Got a lot to replenish after that god-awful time in the mountains.
All done.
Thank you kindly. Ah, this should do the trick.
Yep, that's fine whiskey.
I'm sure they don't Oppeheek. Oh man, that pear and honey chocolate was so nice.
Go wait for them outside.
Right, ammunition. I don't think we can actually buy guns yet. It's designed for hunting without damaging pelts. That actually seems like it might be quite useful. I don't know, let's buy like 2 of those. Oh, you pay the full $1 even if it fills up your... Okay, that's good to know. Horse care. What's in horse care? Clothing? Oh, here we go. Hats. Obviously the most important thing of all. Can I have a bowler? I'm going to be quite disappointed if there's no bowler. Ah! There is a bowler. Excellent. No top hats, but I am absolutely going to blow $20 on a bowler hat. Question is, what do we... They don't seem to have an actual quite... I guess that's as good as we're going to get. Right, obviously, this is a completely vital thing to spend money on. Obviously. Especially $20 of it. Let's buy one of those. Maybe one of those. I guess the watch is like actually functional. It must be. Right, I don't think there's anything else I want to... Yeah, the hat will stay on my head for exactly 7 minutes. That's awfully optimistic. Is he outside? Yes.
Oh, here's to your good health, sir. And to being down here off that mountain.
Absolutely.
It's a funny world. This time in my career, I pictured myself being married to an heiress.
Gentlemen, I think I got something good.
What?
I snuck into this fancy house. Acted like a servant girl. Usually works. Someone was saying her sister was taking a trip from New York or someplace. Train full of rich tourists heading to Saint Denis and then cruising off to Brazil.
Okay.
A train laden with baggage and passing through a bit of deserted country at night as to get to the docks in time for the tides in some place called Scarlet Meadows.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's right out near New Hanover. Right, it's real quiet out there.
Sounds good. Where's Tilly and Karen?
I think at the hotel. They were picking up some drunken fellas that they was gonna rob.
Why?
Seemed easy. They have been gone for quite a while.
I guess I'll go see if there's any trouble.
Oh, there's Tilly over there. That does not look ideal.
Excuse me.
You thought I wouldn't find you, Tilly?
You can go kiss a damn snake for all I care. Get off me! Get off of me!
I've been looking to...
Get your hands off her, friend.
Who are you?
A friend of mine.
Get off her.
Or what exactly?
You want to find out?
Well, this totally seems like defusing the situation.
You're making a big mistake, Tilly Jackson.
Just get lost.
I ain't doing this with you.
Go wait with Uncle and Mary Beth. They're across the street.
Okay. Thanks, Arthur.
Uncle! Look after her. I'm gonna go see about Karen in the hotel.
Deputies let a fella out of jail for a bottle.
Yep, clearly that's not the right door.
Expensive stuff either.
So yeah, when you're in first person, you just kind of sprint everywhere, which feels really weird.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm looking for a girl who came in here earlier with a drunk fella. Mid-20s, blonde. You'd remember her.
Yeah, they're in 2B upstairs. Are you a friend of his?
A friend of hers.
Okay. I like how I've spent half my money on basically a hat. But, you know, priorities. You've got to have the right priorities. Oh yeah, that sounds like it's going well.
Hey! A friend of hers.
Get out of here, buddy. I paid.
Ain't paid to hit her, you goddamn animal. Come here!
Ooh. That looked nasty.
What the hell are you doing here?
Trying to play him. Not very well.
You okay?
Fine.
You sure?
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. Just men.
Oh, nothing else lootable in here, I guess.
Stupid bastard was boasting about the bank.
Bank?
Sure, I know small town banks are usually a waste
Can we
of
close
time.
the door? No, apparently
It's
not.
a livestock town. There's lots of cash sometimes.
Okay. Keep investigating.
I will.
I hope everything's okay up there.
Yep, totally not a possibly dead guy in one of the rooms. He's just sleeping on the floor. Totally fine. Can we actually talk to him again? Nah.
Thank you, Arthur. I don't much like being saved, but when I have to be.
I understand.
You okay? Sure. He only punched me. Arthur punched him a lot harder.
All right, then.
Hey, who's that guy over there looking at us?
Weren't you in Blackwater a few weeks back?
Me? No, sir. Ain't from there.
Oh, you were. Well, I definitely saw you with a bunch of fellers.
Me? No. Impossible. Listen, buddy, come here for a minute.
I saw you.
Come here.
Come on, get.
I don't like this. Me neither. Go get the girls home. I'm gonna go have a word with our friend.
Right, this is not my horse, by the way. This is just a random horse that I'm borrowing.
Just borrowing it. Get back here right now.
Am I going the right way? I hope so. Oh, there he is. Now everyone's just randomly running. I don't quite know why. Whoops.
Mister, please. I'm sorry. You have to help me. Help me.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed by the lack of cannibalism in this game so far. Right, question.
Why are you telling lies about me?
No. I got it wrong, partner. I got it very wrong. Now please help me out.
I ain't never been in Blackwater.
Then why are you chasing me?
I've got an unfortunate face.
I'm obviously chasing you to help you up from this cliff because I somehow magically knew that this was going to happen, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to be not a bastard. I mean, not a total bastard. Maybe a bit of a bastard every now and then, but just not like a total bastard.
You okay, partner?
No. No, I am not. I'm a mess.
Well, you ain't dead.
There is that. Jimmy Brooks.
I think it's best for both of us if we pretend this never happened.
Well, I agree.
He looks an awful lot like, God, what's that actor's name?
You're a good man, and I,
Can't remember now.
Here. You want a pen? It's one of them steel ones.
Oh. That's very kind of you. But I'm not a good man, Jimmy Brooks. Not usually. You see, I was in Blackwater. I killed people. And maybe I should have killed you. Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Me?
Edward Norton. I think that's who I'm thinking of.
Not never.
I think.
You have an understanding?
Or am I just crazy? Maybe I'm just crazy. That's always a strong possibility.
I've got a good memory.
I haven't. Not one lick. Not one since. This year old
Presumably, I can also just still shoot him. Oh no, it's not actually going to let me.
Come on. You have a nice day now, sir.
Right, so now I have to return my stolen horse because otherwise they're going to be a bit mad at me. And I think if I set a marker, I can just do this. So I'm not totally crazy. Good. That's good to know.
Hello, sir. Here's your horseback, friend.
Oh, you really were just borrowing it.
Appreciate it.
See, you can always trust a man in a bowler hat. And that's how the British Empire got started. I could buy some for the... shall we do that? Salted venison. Salted beef. Right, where's what's his face gone? Oh, they're on the back? Oh, are they in the saloon? Am I supposed to be going in the saloon? I think I am. Actually, let's nip to the gunsmith first. What do we got? There's the bank. The pan! Hey, good evening.
Hello.
New to the shop? Well, I use this space as a blacksmith too, so let me know if you need me to grab something for you.
So we can see what guns they have and also customize, which I've not been able to do any of in the online yet because it all costs a bunch of money. Actually, let's look at pistols. I've been enjoying it so far, yeah.
Should have seen you going for that pistol.
That looks entirely German. Well, that's definitely German. That's straight up a Mauser. It actually says it's a Mauser. Right, that's locked for the moment, though. This gun, however, just seems to be a freebie.
Yep, this is the one. We can do a lot with this. New trigger, brand new bolt, your pick.
Which, yeah, they do actually have characteristics of affect the characteristics. So we can actually have spend $5 on an improved sight, sure.
You want to make this really yours? Give it a personal engraving.
Wow, you can really go all out with the it's just the grip.
It doesn't hurt to stock up on ammo. You never know.
Maybe that's the reason it's free. Let's see what else. Repeaters. I mean, they're all going to be like way out of the price range. A varmint rifle. That's going to be a 22 caliber, isn't it? Right, the sawn off. We've got pump action shotgun. We can get free.
It's yours now.
It will get me killed. I like those odds. I mean, wait, what? And that seems the ammunition. I think revolvers is the one thing we haven't looked at. Right, so we've got the Cattleman.
Don't listen to the folk around here. I do not,
Schofield. Okay, so there's only a couple of revolvers.
with no gang.
Ah, the predecessor of the Luger. Okay.
I'll wait to give this a try.
All the trouble in Valentine late, and people are starting to talk about it.
Thanks, mister.
Right, so I'm just now... I actually am carrying literally all of these weapons, which is a nice touch.
Okay then, partner.
Oh.
Hold still.
Just don't mind me. Just testing.
Hello. I ain't saying I'm a fancy scholar or nothing, but I'm sure one of them words in today's paper was spelled wrong. Ain't nobody got a heart?
Ain't the first time. Hello.
The New Hanover Gazette. Sure, let's buy a newspaper. I wonder if there's stuff you can get in those.
Come on, folks. Get your new Hanover Gazette today.
Hey, easy now.
I get a few cents.
No idea where that horse is. Anyway.
Will somebody help me out? I was in the army.
Mister.
Wonder if we can.
Brother. I'm too old to get a job, mister. Way too old. Can't we be friends?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm so happy. I ain't had a friend in a long time. Long time. My last friend died. Weren't my fault. They said it was, but they was wrong.
That sounds reassuring.
Mister, can I hold you a second, mister?
Okay, I don't entirely know where this is going, but let's roll with it.
Okay, just quickly.
That felt good. It's nice to be held.
Okay.
To hold each other in the war. You got sad eyes, mister. Like you seen sad things.
Is he just pocketed a bunch of my money?
With kindness.
I seem to still have all my guns, I think. No, he doesn't seem to have taken anything. It just seems to have been a random hug. Right, let's go and talk to the stranger. This is a random mission we can pick up. Oatmeal and pickled eggs. That's a menu and a half.
What really happened at Sylvia's Saloon back in '76?
Just a lot of bunk, Plato. It's just a lot of bunk.
It's not bunk, Mr. Calloway, sir. It's history.
Ancient history, done and dusted. The dead got off lucky, the living gotta keep suffering.
Can I
Same as all.
sit on
But
the...
did you
I don't
shoot
know.
the Newton twins?
I don't give a pig's penis about the Newton twins. One of them was a girl, anyhow.
But you had been friends back in '73. You rode the Alabaster Trail together.
Funny thing about pigs' penises. They're curly, like the
Yeah, it was free, Craig. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I presume the other one's still in my, inventory that I can select back at camp. Right, can I actually get some booze? No, I guess I have to talk to this guy.
Who's your friend there?
This is Jim Boy Calloway. The Jim Boy Calloway.
Who?
The gunslinger. Fastest left-handed draw that ever drew breath. He once killed 14 men in a fight at Lucy Hollow.
What are you waiting for?
How do you mean?
Well, I reckon right now, kill him yourself.
I don't want to kill him. I want to deify him. He's a god. I'm trying to write his biography.
And how's that going?
I think I prefer the duel. Either I'd kill him and be able to be Baltimore's finest ever gunslinger, or he'd kill me and I could be set free from ever having to speak to him again.
Well, you're starting to understand something very important.
What's that?
The joys of gunslinging. It's win-win, freedom or glory.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna write that down, if I may.
Be my guest.
What's your name?
I don't have a name.
But you are a gunslinger.
Not really. I mean, folks who need shooting, I try and shoot in the back. All that other stuff, it's, well, bunk.
But you fought duels.
Once upon a time, I may have.
And you ain't interested in fame.
I don't think so.
Strange. But you like fortune.
I need money, sure.
Okay. And forgive me, mister, if I seem a little desperate. I am a little desperate. This book, I've got to make a thing of it, and, well, there's a whole list of gunfighters. Legends, every last one. Emmett Granger.
I think I see where this is going.
Hernandez, Billy Midnight. Black Bell.
Never heard of him.
Maybe you can go and speak to them. Ask them about
I'm pretty sure I ran into Black Bell in online, actually. She's someone you can get a mission from.
I can't believe I just said that, but...
You want me to go and find some sad, deluded fools like him, ask if he was the greatest, and then if they get uppity, shoot him?
Does sound a lot worse than a well, a lot. Half the proceeds of the...
This is a very silly mission.
See what I can do.
Oh, get photos.
Okay.
And there are notes on the back of those portraits that should lead you to him.
I'll see what I can find out.
I imagine we'll be stuck here upon your return. Here or some other flop house.
Okay, so I can go in the inventory and look for that, and it's giving me a camera even though I kind of already had a camera, so that's fine. Right, so there is Javier in the thing we need to go and talk to as well. Also, I'm not sure why I need the pocket watch, because I can just hit Alt and it gives me the time, no problem. I have no idea how these guns are staying. That one's got a strap and I'm not sure about the other one.
Alright, there we go. Oh, Arthur, come here. Come over here. I want you to meet our friends.
Pleased to meet you.
Well, ain't you just a
that is quite the top.
Oh, you be quiet, Anastasia. Anyone can tell this one is a pussy cat.
Exactly. Yes, he's a pussy cat. Ain't that so, Arthur?
Whatever you say. How much you cost, anyway?
Well, ain't that a nice way to talk to a lady?
Oh, I didn't know I was talking to a lady.
Excuse me.
Well, sarcasm will get you everywhere, or possibly nowhere.
Yeah, regular dandy and a charm. Where's Bill?
Oh, man. I dread to think about it. Hey! There he is.
Watch where you're going. Take it easy,
Are you about to kiss that guy or punch him?
Oh, and we have our answer.
I'm suddenly reminded of that scene from A Million Ways to Die in the West. Where there's just... Oh, yeah, yep, there goes the hat. Where the bar just randomly erupts into a massive fight. Right. Obviously, very important. When I pick my hat up, it's just going to get knocked off again, of course, but... And it's a big ordinary guy.
Come here, you little greaser. That's the last go. Yeah, like I killed you, son of a bitch.
How do I just press? Do I spam that? Okay, this is a spam rather than a press. I really wish it made it clearer.
That's it. We can deal with
Whoops. My hat! My hat! You've scuffed my hat!
Come on, pretty boy. Pretty boy? You're kidding me. Pretty boy?
Right, I'm gonna... Oh! I'm gonna have to remember the block button. I don't know how you grapple. I probably missed that. Whoop! He just seems to keep grabbing me by the ears and throwing me. Block! Block! There we go. I actually successfully blocked. Hooray! Oh, ouch. Oh, F. Just some good old-fashioned... Whoa. Good old-fashioned family entertainment. Oh! 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 Come on! Come on! Spam the F! Oh! Oh, that's a low blow, Arthur. That's a low blow. Literally. Do we... Okay.
Please, I beg you, stop.
It's like, surely at some point we can just, like, not, you know, hit him anymore? We didn't really seem to have an option there.
No business, sir, but please, I beg you.
Well, at least my bowler didn't get all muddy.
Making new friends again, I see, Arthur. Look who we found sniffing about.
Josiah Trelawney.
The very same.
Well, I thought you'd gone to New York.
I want his hat. I want his hat.
You must be joking.
I hope at some point we get the chance to buy a top hat. I mean, a bowler's good, but it ain't no top hat.
You're not very popular there, it seems. Ah, Javier and Charles. I've missed you. And Bill, looking as well as can be. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. You're right. We ain't too popular in Blackwater.
We left a lot of money there.
And young Sean, it seems.
Sean, you found him?
Yes, I have. He's being held by some bounty hunters, trying to see how much money the government will pay them. I know he's in Blackwater, but there's talk of them moving.
Well, if we step foot in Blackwater... Well, then we're dead men for sure.
There'll be Pinkertons all over the place, but if he's alive, we gotta try.
Yeah, of course.
It's you they want, Dutch. Always is. Charles, go find out what you can, carefully. Josiah, take Javier. Arthur, go get yourself cleaned up. Join them when you're ready.
Is this going to be a dunk in a horse trough? I bet it's going to be a dunk in a horse trough.
What about you? What is that?
Ah, no, that's disappointing. Well, not exactly clean, but, you know. His beard's slightly less muddy. Right. My hat! I need my hat! Where's my hat? Oh, phew, it's safe. I'm kind of wondering if we can... Can we loot the bodies? No, we can't loot the unconscious people. I am very sad. Right, so... oh, did I get my gun out? I didn't mean to. So where am I supposed to be going? Back to the camp? I guess? I can go and play five-finger fillets, apparently. Right, I guess... I don't know if there's anything we can get at the post office. Yeah, let's head back to the camp then. I think I might even Do I have a horse? Where's the carriage? Have they taken the carriage and left me? Do I just take a random horse? Oh, it's out of whistling range. It's all the way back at the camp, probably. Am I supposed to just walk back? Can I get like a horse taxi? Where's my horse Uber? Yeah, I have no idea. Can I go and like wash at the hotel? I'm not running all the way back. Hell no. Well, in which case, I think I'll wrap things up here. I have no idea where the transport's gone, so I guess we either walk back or steal a horse. I'll figure something out. We're getting on for 3.5 hours anyway, so I think that's a good point to wrap it up. So thank you all who have tuned in. If there's any you missed or whatever, if you have a mad, desperate desire to watch bits again, I'll put the VOD up on YouTube so you can go and check it out there. And yeah, happy, well, still technically Boxing Day here. But, you know, happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, all that jazz. And enjoy the rest of your time off from whatever you've been doing. And also, I just bashed my elbow. Totally smooth, Jedi. Totally smooth.